Ladies and gentlemen, authorities here, good evening. This event is being broadcast for ABCZ TV on YouTube with simultaneous translation into English and Spanish. It's a great honor that the Brazilian Associations of Zebu creators receive for the fifth ABCZ Women Meeting that has the objective to strengthen the important role of women in society and in agribusiness. ABCZ Women will bring visibility with the objective in the last 5 years, the project tried to meet the about subjects that will support to decision making in all women field can be related to family, business, leadership, and successful roles in agriculture, women in Brazil, in and outside Brazil. Gathering these women for trainings and speeches is ABCZ Impacting Lives. ABCZ Women has as these event partners Banco do Brasil, Leo Chaves, Ministry of Economy. We have as sponsors Banco do Brasil, supporters EFTM, Uberaba, Fazul, Sebrae, Uniub. And we'd like to thank you, the collaborators with the firefighting department that were important part of this project. We'll invite all of you to listen to the Brazilian anthem. I'd like to thank all the authorities that are here and the board members of ABCC. We remind you all that tonight donations will be distributed for the philanthropic entities that are registered throughout ABCC. We will now see the ABCC video. A great work done
longo
to
trabalho em prol da
solidarity.
solidariedade.
It's a chain of goodness that started throughout the pandemic and is growing and growing as we have never seen before. From donation to donation that seems little for those who were needed became a lot for those who were receiving. We are going through this extremely difficulty. A lot of families that are in need, and we are searching for this light in the donations that we receive. And thanks God, BCZ, it's a great part that is helping us. Those who are working as a volunteer or any other demand can see how many people are in need of this help. Clothes, toys, hospital equipment, and food. A lot of food. Even with the door closed due to the pandemic protocols, Fernando Costa Park continued to receive thousands of donations. For you to have an idea, to 2020 to now, with more than 20,000 um, IPI items, 12,000 toys, 10,000 items of clothing, and 180 tons of food between market baskets and other products. We are very happy with the society role of partners. We are sending friends from the stores of individuals, the employees itself. They are all help. And work doesn't stop here. As we help the solidarity, Fernando Costa Park will continue with the store open for those who want to unify forces through this chain of goodness. And the population of Uberaba City, they are great. They are always donating food, clothes, everything that they want to donate, we will receive and we will pass to those in need. We would like to invite the ABCZ President Rivaldo Machado Jr. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here to thank you all for being here in this important date. It's the first event, it's the fifth event of ABCZ Women that it's happening. We went through 2 years of pandemic. Unfortunately, we couldn't be with you. But I would like to use this opportunity to thank you, my wife, Rosalia, that has been doing an amazing work with the collaborators for ABCZ to help those in need. Since we started working with this entity, she has been doing this every 15 days to go into these entities that are in need here at Uberaba. And I would like to say that women are important in our lives. Rosalia, for me, I don't need to say she's my pillar. She's the one that is with me, my company, my business, and gives me the opportunity so I can be here. And I'm very proud to have her with me, and she helps me every day in our lives. This helps us to conquer all everything that we want and continue dreaming. And it's great to see all of the collaborators that we have. A great part of these collaborators are women, and I'd like to congratulate all of you for this event. We would like to the stage the president of PCZ, Women, Rosário Curado Machado. Good evening, everyone. I love when you answer good evening. Welcome to our fifth edition of the ABCZ Women Meeting. We would like to welcome all the authorities and institutions that are here that are always supporting us in through our actions from ABCZ the Bay and ABCZ Women that we propose to say. Our mayor, that is the first leader that makes us very proud of her position. Our our guests came from other states, countries, and our online audience. I'd like to thank you all the women entrepreneurs, business women, students, collaborators, and people from our community that left, uh, got out their houses to be here with us tonight. Today is very special for all of us. It's the first um, is the first physical event that we have after the pandemic, and I'm great to see a full house with many people contributing with our work. I'd like to thank you to Banco do Brasil and our guest for this night, Leo Chaves, that is going to make this event even better. To lead and manage are the reflex of women from the past and the current days. To lead your heart, to lead your life, to live companies governs and everything that you need to be led in this society, to dream and believe and make it true everything that we want. This is the woman role. Besides her family and her uh, companions and kids, women were chosen to generate life with dialogue, partnerships, and opportunities for all of us. We are going to continue in a fair society for an agribusiness that is going to be ethic and very productive, generating revenue and job positions through agribusiness. That is the vein of this nation. Our reasons to choose and prepare women to lead and occupy women that allow us to decide today and occupy operational positions of management in other areas. But there is not enough women that are in the leadership. We need to have more opportunities so women in the high positions in companies and governments and events like this will bring visibility and voice to all of us. I would like to thank you, all of you, and I say that we now open our fifth ABCZ Woman. We would like to invite to the stage the Mayor Elisa Araújo. Good evening. Fifth meeting to talk about women, empowered women, women from agribusiness. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation, Rosalia. And I would like to talk to all of the women that are here. I'd like to congratulate you to the work you have been doing with ABCC Women, not only empowering women, but valuing women for micro business, but on top of everything that we saw here with the social work that benefit many and many institutions. And here I'm going to name Tiago from Anjos do Bem, that is ahead of a serious institution. And I would like to congratulate in behalf of Chago all the institutions here because the municipal government wouldn't be anything for the third sector. We need you. We are partners. And an action as the one that we're having here reinforces your work and also have the municipality. So this chain of goodness, this chain of solidarity, it's good for everyone. Congratulations, Rosario. Congratulations, Thiago. And congratulations, all of you. In the name of the president of the ABCC, I'd like to say hello to all men that are here. And with women, we will go far and we will do anything. And I would also like to say that even with that many challenges that women have to take care of family, take care of themselves, work, study, get home after all the work rounds and have the third round to take care of the kids. I get home and I still need to clean the house and do the laundry, to talk with my kids, to get dinner done, to prepare meals, to do that third round that we said is the best round because it's the one that we do with our family. It's a loving round, but even though we are tired, we do it and we do it well. We do the storytelling even when we are almost asleep. And they ask, "Oh, please, mom." I go there. Sometimes I sleep before I end the story, and I sleep before him, but just being next to him makes the difference. So being a woman is to have this multidisciplinarity every hour of the day. And who even imagined that Uberaba would have a woman as a mayor? Uberaba today has a woman as a mayor, and I have the honor. I'm proud to be the first woman as a mayor of Uberaba in 200 years. And with this, I was chosen at the time of the campaign. A political campaign is not easy. For those who go through it, they know that it's not easy. And at the time, I had an attempt to say that women don't vote for women, and this is not true. I was elected by many women and also by men, because when we elect one, is those who represent us, and I have this responsibility to represent women and to represent men that chose me. Almost 86,000 votes. It's a lot of responsibility, but I am proud to be to be part of the history of Uberaba as the first women, and more women should come and representing all of us.
I would like to say that a woman can govern, okay, or run Uberaba for all of you, the 86,000 people who voted for me, and for those who didn't vote for me. It's lots of responsibility, but it's also a great pleasure because we can truly transform people's lives. I would also like to say that we're talking about empowering women. I'm also a businesswoman. I have come from the private sector. And nowadays, I'm facing the challenge of running the public government, the public sector, with lots of dedication, with lots of knowledge, studies. I'm learning a little bit every day. And I'm very happy because being a civil servant is an opportunity for us to change many lives. Imagine that one pen, a mayor's pen, can change the lives of thousands of people. It's a great opportunity. And I'm very happy to have received this opportunity. And I hope that other women will follow the same path. In Uberaba, we have many business women that are strong and who have changed the history of thousands of people. I'm going to mention one from agribusiness, Miss Olinda Cunha, a visionaire that impacted the history of Uberaba because she imported cattle from India and she impacted the national cattle. And this story is here can be seen here at the ABCZ. I would also like to mention a few figures. Among the micro business people in Uberaba, we have 21,000. Almost 50% of the companies were created and they are run by women. And in the sectors that women can be highlighted are restaurants, clothing, the promotion of sales, beauty, almost 50%. And with this financial independence, our women can make their own choices. And I would like to say that the municipal government is working hard to offer the necessary support to all the women who would like to become better business people. And this year, the municipal government is carrying out the rural census so that we can have better data regarding the women who are in agribusiness in the rural areas so that we can work to help these women in the field in the rural areas. And then we had a survey that identified that 197,000 women are ahead of many rural properties in Brazil. Did you know that? It's a lot of women in rural areas, right? And they manage about 30 million hectares. And this represents a huge amount of our rural areas in Brazil. It's almost 5,000 women members of the ABCZ. Oh, almost 1,000, pardon me. 1,000 women who are ABCZ members. And that's a meaningful number. And so now they have the ABCZ Woman Space. Congratulations, Rosalia, for opening up this space for our women, and our minister was here, and I'm sure that many, many things are going to happen. And Minister Teresa Cristina is going to fly a long distance. So she revolutionized the Ministry of Agriculture that was always, always led by men, but she has left her mark there and she was excellent. I wish to all of you a wonderful event, and we are together. So let's have more business women, let's have more female politicians and women jointly with men investing and valuing one another. Thank you so much, and I wish to all of you a wonderful event. And to form the first panel, okay, challenges and opportunities. Okay, we would like to invite Ms. Rosália Machado, President of ABCZ for Good and ABCZ Woman. Rosália is a lawyer, a rural producer, a farmer, and also one of the founders of a company in Uberaba, UBCESA, in Uberaba. We would also like to invite Ms. Patrícia Chaim. Okay, Patricia is a manager of solutions and marketing. She works at the Bank of Brazil. She has a degree in hotel management from Senac. She has a graduate course in marketing and an MBA in finance. And she is now taking her master's course at the Catholic University in Brasilia, and she teaches at the corporate university of the Bank of Brazil. She has been teaching there for 12 years now, and she led the communication department and the management department of the cultural center of the bank in Brazil in the city of São Paulo. We would like to invite Dr. Valéria Cunha Campos Guimarães. Dr. Valeria is an endocrinologist and she has a PhD in endocrinology. She has published many medical papers in international journals. She is the first woman in the endocrinology community to be a part of the executive board of the International Society of Endocrinology in the USA. And she raises tabapuã cattle on her farm on the Verde. And now we would like to invite Miss Natália Serendino Romero. And she has come especially to this event from Bolivia to take part in this fifth ABCZ Women Meet. Natalia is an agronomer and she studied at Pan American University in Honduras. She developed her professional practices in the phytopathology in Lincoln University in Nebraska. She led the creation of the UN model in Bali, Indonesia, and she trained small farmers, small female farmers who produce rice so that they could avoid any lack of food, teaching them management techniques and also helping them create urban vegetable gardens. To mediate this panel, we would like to invite Mr. Cesar Antonio, a journalist at the ABCZ. Cesar, the floor is yours.
Senhoras e senhores, muito boa noite.
Ladies and
Desejamos
gentlemen, good
bem-vindos. Este é
evening
o
to all of
programa
you. We would
ABCZ
also
pela
like to greet all of
Esta
those who are watching us online on the ABCZ channel.
na língua
This
inglesa.
fifth meeting is also being broadcasted in English and in Spanish to the Spanish speaking countries and to the English speaking countries. Good evening to all of you. Welcome to all of you. Oh, please use the microphone. There it is. Good evening. Thank you to all once again for being here tonight in our fifth ABCZ Woman Meeting. After a long pandemic, we were absent from these meetings, and now we have these amazing guests. Patricia, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening to all of you. It's a great pleasure, a great honor to be here representing the Bank of Brazil and the Bank of Brazil Foundation that for almost 4 decades has been transforming realities all over Brazil. Natalia, good evening. Thank you so much for being here with us. Good evening to all of you. Thank you so much. It's a great honor to be representing my country, Bolivia, and I believe that I'm the first president of my organization, okay, that represents women who are in agribusiness. She speaks Portuguese, okay, ladies. Oh, doctor, thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be able to be here with such a high level audience. And we have women, young women here who are business women. And I'm sure that tonight is going to be wonderful. Yes, there's no doubt in my mind. Tonight, we're going to be able to get to know the stories of all of these women who are benchmarks in their several sectors. Stories that are going to impact all of us and inspire all of us. And to start our chat, it's not a presentation, it's not an interview, it's a round of conversations with great women complementing what our mayor mentioned. So we have the Brazilian Agency of Rural Development. It means it says that among four people, one is a woman. Natalia is a head of the financial department of Unicerra, and it is a benchmark not only in the city of Uberaba, but also in the state of Minas Gerais. So, Ms. Rosalia, how is it to be in a company and in a sector that is dominated by men? And you are so spontaneous always. We know that sometimes for women to be in certain sectors, they need to cover themselves or change their personalities a little bit to protect themselves, yes, to face some difficulties. And Miss Rosalia has always been very spontaneous. Did this help you, or did it create even more barriers for you to create to deal with delicate situations? I believe that I didn't have any difficulties. The way that I am, my nature, uh, I try to face things in a light way. So I didn't have these problems that people that would be on the other side, a person that would be always in a bad mood would feel. So of course I have faced obstacles, I have faced problems, many of them. Everybody has faced problems, right? But I faced these problems in a lighter way, in an easygoing way, thinking that it could have been worse. So I didn't see problems in my daily life, in my company, with my employees, with my clients. No, it's exactly the opposite. I have to thank for the opportunity I've had to have this job. It's wonderful to wake up knowing that you have a place to go, an office to go to, work to be done, to know that so many people depend on you, depend on your work. So I only thank and thank for this opportunity to work. And I continued being just the way I have always been. No, I don't want to change. Dr. Valeria, being born in a family of livestock producers and knowing how important the Zebu cattle is in Brazil is a great challenge, right? Because when we have family succession and we are inside the Zebu home, it's natural for the male child to take over the business. But Destiny wanted you to take over your father's legacy and also allowed you to be a doctor, an endocrinologist, and you are a benchmark in Brazil and outside Brazil. So you travel the world, you have shared information, and so how can you do the two things? How can you be a doctor and how can you be a farmer or a rancher? Cesar, you mentioned the family succession, and this is very important. I would like to start by discussing this. Why? Because I read some recent data that said that 70% of our national territory belongs to families, and these families, they are going to have a successor one day, and many women are going to be in my shoes, facing this challenge of this inheritance or succession. I had a great grandfather, a grandfather, and a father, three male generations. It was a male world, and then in my generation, and I had to fill in their shoes when I received my inheritance. It was a challenge. It is truly a challenge, but it's very interesting, very interesting. I just wanted to share with you guys that if you have not thought about this, many of the women who are here in this auditorium or at home, maybe you're going to be managing something in agribusiness, in the agribusiness that we have in the near future, because agriculture and livestock in our country, they move the world, they move our country. You can be at the university studying law, engineering, computer science, journalism, but maybe in the near future, you're going to be developing an app for agribusiness. Maybe you're going to be building huge facilities on farms. Maybe you're going to be changing medicine in our communities or in rural communities. So, you, all of you, I believe you guys are going to be me tomorrow. But for me, the succession unfortunately happened because my brother passed away. He would be the natural successor. At that time, when my father was alive, women were not meant to stay on the farm. They should go to the city, they should study, they should become independent. That's what my parents believed, and that we needed to be financially independent and they should get married. They should try to find a good marriage, but not staying on the farm. Not staying on the farm. This was not for women. And then suddenly, there I am. My father passed away before his time, I believe, and I had to uh, I had to do it. I had to start working, and I started using my medical knowledge on our farm. And one of the things my father shared with me, and this really impacted me, is that after I studied, I trained a lot, I became just I did my residence university, I did my graduate work, I specialize in thyroid cancer. My father missed somebody helping him. And then he said the following sentence: My daughter, s- let's fatten our cattle together. Let's fatten our cattle together. And I said, Dad, guys, translation apologizes. We're having some technical issues. We cannot hear the audio properly. We apologize for this inconvenience. Just a second. Translation apologizes, okay? And so I had to go back to our farm, and so many men who helped my father, they are now helping me stay up there, managing everything. I had to learn about everything. So I am an endocrinologist who had to read about pests in our fields. I had to study many things, but my endocrinological background helped me a lot, and so I started using my expertise in different ways, okay? So in a doctor's office, we don't want our patients to be obese, but on our farms, yes. So in our the medical offices, we don't want precocious puberty, but on our farms, we encourage this. And I have a friend who is a big joker, and I say that in my medical office, I allow my old ladies to look really, really beautiful, but on the farm, we want the fat. So I have been studying some cattle genetics and these things have been making very curious. And maybe this has originated from genes to save the fat, okay? And now we are mating, carrying out qualified mating, and we have been observing this, how to maintain the fat, and we have guided mating. So I was able to make the sciences and technology work together.
And this genetics here, for me, it's like Disney. I'm devouring all the informations. I know that I have teachers and professors here that are getting out of my way because I'm sucking their knowledge because this qualifies us. And women, it's the place of women is whenever they want, and it's amazing to see that many women in so different fronts here, going through the park, and everything goes through management, uh, getting in touch with everyone. It's wonderful. It's amazing experience. Thank you, Patricia. Women's look, sensible look of the profession, the women in the field, women in the from Lorena and the Paraíba Valley that takes your experience to Banco do Brasil Foundation in a delicate time during the beginning of the pandemic. How your feminine look was decisive to face this period and help women with projects that are done by the foundations. Says that I'm from Lorena and I'm very comfortable here because no one talks about my accent. There's not a problem because I would like to thank you how everyone welcomed me here at the city of Uberaba. I would like to thank you for the invitation. And this trajectory started in an agency 15 years ago, I think more than 15 years ago, in rural producers portfolio. I went there without understanding the difference of specific words, and then I understood, started understanding, and then generous women that were daughters of the city producers that offer me that learning. And this portfolio start growing, and I start searching for more and more knowledge. And because you can find challenges, Rosalia was saying, all of us, we meet these challenges, not only women but also men. And I start studying and training. I have a few opportunities, and in a certain moment I went to be a general manager of Banco do Brasil, Bank of Brazil. And this agency was an agency that didn't have agribusiness in their portfolio. Even knowing that Bank in Brazil is the bank of agribusiness, the strength for agribusiness is in our daily work. And suddenly, this agency closed. They were restructuring, and in a time of trying to find a new path for the same company, I started realizing what were the characteristics of a female leadership. And more than a female leadership, it was a sustainable leadership. It was a leadership that has this attention to details, that has this social sensibility as one of its features, and someone that will see and be the main character. People is people anywhere, can be at Lorena, Uberaba, can be in the north, south, any country in the world. So to give them this protagonist getting this attention, like, make me had this opportunity at Bank of Brazil. I know that many of you know the one from Belo Horizonte, that is as beautiful as São Paulo. We have some at Brasília, Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, and Belo Horizonte. And at the Bank of Brazil Cultural Center, this strength, this detail, this care that is valuable for everyone. So this is the purpose of Bank of Brazil. So it gives this giant meaning when we are talking about culture. So we are talking about agribusiness for this culture, and suddenly we got the pandemic. This management at the cultural center, Banco do Brasil Cultural Center, had this attention because they had some experience results of the visitors, and I had the opportunity to get to know the Bank of Brazil Foundation work. And we got to the sustainability area. It's an area that the brand started exploring. We are talking about bonds, and getting this invitation, talking about bonds, and how these territories are connected, and how this potential that the sustainable leadership can contribute for these results, but especially for people protagonists. The so Bank of Brazil Foundation, I tell you this, for 4 decades has been transforming the reality of millions of Brazilians. And the last year was 6 million people, and you showed here an amazing video of this humanitarian help. Today we have 6 different access. One of them is there's help volunteering. It's another one. We had an example, social technology. We have one of the most important parts here. We're going to have this. I believe that someone's going to talk about this. Also, environment, and we are able to connect the Bank of Brazil business with social environmental investments, products as consortiums and funds, that for each one of the each product or service we had this compensation. We are able to neutralize this greenhouse effect gases, and I'm connecting everything. You notice that. So, but I'm just trying to show how each one of those departments are connected. We we have a product. We have different products for different departments, and we are able to help the public schools. One product that was recently launched for by the foundations. So answering your question, our work has as a base the social side, the sustainability, getting understanding the spaces that we could and should occupy.
Natália, assim como no Brasil, a atividade agrícola
Natalia, also in Brazil, as Brazil, the agribusiness is a business that it's a male business, and we have been seeing more and more as this entrepreneurship, this incentive for to be entrepreneurs. Women go to the field, they own their their business, and sometimes they forget talking about the difficulties and challenges, because it's not only having the agribusiness feeling. We need to manage, we need to understand how to improve the genetics, you need to understand the economy, the market. And I believe that you are doing, from your starting with your work with a group of people, you have an activity that it's interesting, because not only it's getting women to get the main positions of their activities, but also showing them in a practical way the difficulties that they have to go by. See, I was going to talk a little bit about what's the experience that we have in Bolivia to create the first agribusiness group, a women group, and we started to launch nowadays in this forum the name of the group, so we can show you all the difficulties that we have to these groups. So 4 years ago, I was at the university with a lot of ideas to show to the world. So I started getting to know the rural producers, from the small producers to the big producers. So I would watch small men groups, only men, and they welcomed me and they supported me. But in my heart, I needed more. So I decided to form a women group. I start getting touch to the rural producers, and I start getting the group. We have as an objective to promote and um, get more women at the agribusiness. And I know that a city, to be in a society like this, it's difficult. We don't have the same management positions as men have, and we are advantaged. And I believe that today we have this great responsibility. So it's very hard for me to get the same results, because we it's difficult for us to have the same working hours. Especially today during lunch, I was talking to Rosalia and Ariana, and they said that they started 20 years ago what I'm starting today. So I think that for me, it motivates me, and I expect to get to believe and motivate many women to support them so they can continue growing up. It's a dream, it's what I wanted, to be one of the first women in the agribusiness, and I believe there's no limits here. Women can have many positions, as a mother, as a worker, can be a producers, and I I want my parents. I decided to work in as a rural producers, and I decided to leave other positions aside to have this position highlighted. And Natalia brought to us a small presentation of everything that is being done in Bolivia, so we can understood a little bit more of the importance of this movement that is being created and incentive women. Let's see Natalia presentation. They will pass the video. Let's go to the next slide, please. Well, this is the name of the group, Agribusiness Women. I see here that Sonia is women from Agro, and I'm happy that you're here seeing this presentation. And this is one of our first meetings as a group. We decided to put women to have a more protective role. So, as a main objective, to have this interaction to share the labor experience that we had in our farms. We had an official training in May 10th, 2021, and we saw that after the pandemic, the economy of most places were different, but the women were more affected than men. We asked ourselves, what's the best company, what's the entity that would would be better for us, and we couldn't change between us women to understand how we could fight, how we can defend ourselves in society. And something that we heard a lot was the family succession, to get something that would be empirical with the interpreter. And this is the main objective of the group, to share this experience. And this is one of the fundamental pillars of the group, our identity and the sorority between women. I believe that together we can get many other things. And one of the values that we get in university is to learn by doing. And I believe that on the day to work with the small producers, to work with the workers, women from that place, I believe in that I will grow as a person, as a producer, because I can see the entire productive chain. And this is a little bit what it's our journey, our work. We have this training with the genetic improvement. Some of what is our dream to have this studies, and also showing the genetics, the original genetics. This was a charge that impacted me because we can see that the female population that is economically active in the agricultural sector, it's almost zero, and it increased 20% of the women had this productive role in the agricultural sector. We can also see this participation rate of women in the rural sector, it's almost zero also. Nowadays in 2010, we were able to get this balance between men, so we were able to start uh, intensifying the work of women in this type of labor. Due to international organizations, we were able to have the support of different institutions, Bolivian institutions that believed in the project, believed in the group, and we decided to get the first National Association of Agribusiness Women. Actually, for me, uh, I'm very proud to tell you to tell you that in September we are going to launch the first association, the first headquarter, and nowadays we had this alliance. I decided to get the Brazilian flag here because this is going to be an economical and social impact for us. And that's it. Thank you.
Parabéns pelo trabalho.
Congratulations.
Aqui para nossa conversa um dado
I like to bring to our conversation an important data, but it's also concerning data. According to the Safety Forum in 2021, between March and since the pandemic started and December 2021, the last registration that we had available were 2,451 feminicide and 5,300 rape cases, and
infelizmente com
also they are raping vulnerable victims, And as we said, we live in a sexist society and sexist society, and we need to fight domestic violence, domestic against women. And when we see strong women that position themselves ahead of the working market, that are the leaders of their family, we are talking about farm mothers. It's important to have this strong positioning with situations like this, and to have this different look, the sorority. Mayor Elisa said that we had this stigma that women wouldn't vote for women, they don't support women. We were talking about this earlier. We had the opportunity to have lunch together, and we were talking about this. And say, Rosalia, how women get this situation and the harassment that many times they live in the work market, how they should position themselves. Well, I think there isn't a rule because each case it's totally different to the emotional. But imagine, for example, a rape, a violence. There's no way to think it's painful. Someone that goes through the process like this, it's marked through her life. It's not acceptable to be forgiven, to forgive a monster like this. I believe, in my point of view, a man that does that is a monster. So I think that you can allow it's a one that will remember this for the rest of its life, because it's very serious, and many women are raped, and they are silent because they are afraid to face society. They are ashamed to face society, and they let this problem go through. But it's a monstrosity, it's something that you can repair, and it's not acceptable to think that it still exists, but it exists, and we have many cases. So it's painful, but it's a problem that we need to face. Valeria, inside this reality, women also lose this inside medicine, as you already brought this reality to us. This is the reality. It's not unique, it's not only for Brazil. This is a world reality where women's payments are lower, where they have this difficulty to get to the management position, where you have important speeches and important sessions. I keep talking about these American societies. They are stopped by men when they wouldn't be stopped by men would not be stopped by other men. And I believe that I think that time it's making us see that how to solve this. And one of the ways is getting together.
So we have groups of people, we have groups of doctors in the USA. They make a comment, and maybe the man was affected by your comment, but then the man tells a joke to make you stop speaking. And I have a wonderful technique, which is the following. Could you please repeat what you said? Could you please repeat what you said? Because we have to start. We have to try to start stopping these men. And so then you can occupy your own space when you stand up for yourself, or when you do something with perfection. When you do something with perfection, you call that person to help you out, and you call that person out and ask that person to explain himself. My parents, they used to say the following, my father mainly: my dear daughter, Depression is something for the urban centers. People in the rural areas, they don't have depression. So, people in the cities, they fight. Okay, and we have to analyze the rural populations, and so we have doctors and clinics, for example, and people who don't have access to medical treatment, they start taking drugs, and then they rape other women. In my opinion, the solution to this kind of problem, this kind of violence against women, is by educating. We should educate our women. We should educate our young women. And I believe that the 5G technology is going to help this country a lot. These children, these teenagers, so they should be educated. They should be taught how to solve problems without fighting. And they educated and say, Dad, let me take you to the doctor, to a doctor's office. In the rural areas, we have geniuses, many, many geniuses. It's amazing, amazing.
It's aggression, it's violence, and why is that? Sometimes we need to get the best diagnosis. When we get to the main thing of the genetic 2015, that is the power of information. Information not only for meant for the future, improve it, the cattle, but for this life quality as a whole. The Bank of Brazil Foundation has a fundamental role of this because it has a campaign of the purple alms to get this information to women so they can understand they are being violent victims and of psychological abuse. Before talking about Purple August and BB for women, we are talking about the information power. Look how many things we are debating. We could have been here talking the whole night, and we have this unconscious bias. And this is an interesting theme if you put there. If you search, there are important debates and important learning. We're talking about impact, this empathy. We talk about social emotional competence that are done with these kids and teenagers of the projects that are being supported as the BB community for the future. And we have a lot of things that we are talking here that it will be like a seed. It's a seed for us so we can more and more apply this knowledge. About the Bid for Women, the Bid for Women, it's a movement that is dedicated to women. We have bb.com.br/bb for Alice, BB for Alice, and we bring this conscious and how is the case of the purple we not give up supporting this cause. I would like to invite all of you to and video that we brought up against domestic violence.
Quando uma mulher usa as mãos, é sinal da vida
When
extrema.
women use their hands,
É
it's a
pedido
sign
de
that
ajuda. Há mais de ano, parte
sign
do
that
movimento pelo fim da
it's
violência contra a mulher.
a
Preparamos
request for
agências para
help.
acolher denúncias.
Cry for help.
Salvamos
So we
muitas
prepare
vidas.
the
Tudo
agencies
para que um
to
dia nenhuma mulher
support
precise fazer este
so
sinal. Agosto
non-women
Lilás,
need
a
to
gente não
cry.
abre mão de
Purple
defender
August
essa
needs
causa.
to
Banco
not
do Brasil,
stop
para tudo
defending
que
this
você
cause.
imaginar.
Bank of Brazil for everything that you imagine. Thank you. Thank you for the space Thank you for being able to share this, not only for the of Brazil, belongs to all of us. And this started in this August, but of course that is not going to be here. It's a movement that wants to be amplified, so we accept that, so we can offer them new
A
paths to do
mulher
this.
tem o dom natural de educar pelo exemplo. E, Natália, você
Women
fez uma
have the
pergunta
natural
interessante
gift of
porque muitas
educating
vezes
via
as
their
palavras nos
example.
falam
So,
se sua
Natalia,
mãe
you have an
deveria dar voz e fazer,
80-year-old child,
educar
80-year-old
pelo
child.
exemplo, como isso
And
pode ajudar tantas outras mulheres,
so, what
as
do you
nossas
think
mulheres que
about
estão
this?
aqui.
Raising your kids or educating your kids by example? How can this help? Uh, well, based on my experience as a mother, teaching is a very, very difficult task. Every time they ask him, what does your mother do? She's the president of a group of women. My son didn't understand the concept of my job, my profession, what exactly I did. And then I chatted with him. I do work that is going to use a lot of time, but I'm going to help many, many people. So I believe that encouraging your children at home, telling them that there isn't a single role, a man, for a woman. And so believe that the role of a woman is reproducing babies. No, we have to teach them this, that we can work, and it's a big honor and joy to know that my son Eduardo, every day he goes to school, think like this. My mom is going to the field, to the countryside, to the rural areas. She's going to help
Ajudar
people,
pelo
and
exemplo,
this is very, very
inspirar
good.
outras
So
pessoas
helping
e nos
by
desafios
giving an
criar
example, by setting
oportunidades.
an
Você
example,
de
helping
nova,
other
você em plena
people,
crise, nós
facing the
criamos o Presidente
challenges,
Rivaldo.
creating opportunities. And
E em
President
momentos
Rivaldo
difíceis,
always says
abrir
that
oportunidades
during
para outras mulheres.
a crisis
Permitam
is
aqui fazer
when
uma
we can
pesquisa
have
rápida. As
opportunities.
mulheres que estão
So
aqui,
I would like to
algumas de
carry
vocês
out
já
a quick
enfrentaram o
survey.
câncer.
Women,
Por favor,
have you
levantem a mão.
ever had cancer? Raise your hands if you have
Nós
had
temos um número
cancer.
significativo de
We
mulheres.
have
Talvez
a
muitas de vocês
meaningful
não
number of
saibam que nós temos
women.
aqui no palco mulheres
Maybe
forçadas
many of you don't
a
know,
mudar a
maybe
vida
don't
de
know
todas as
that we
mulheres
have a
que
woman
passam por esse
here
processo
that is
agônico. A
responsible for
partir de uma
helping
vivência
women
de uma
who have had
experiência da
cancer.
sensibilidade dessa mulher,
Based on her
ela conseguiu
experience, on her
fazer com que o PET
sensitivity,
scan, um exame
she
de
was
alto custo,
able to
fosse
make
oferecido
the
em
PET
todas as
scan,
regiões do país.
a
A
very
doutora Valéria
expensive
tem
test, to be
essa
offered all over Brazil. Dr.
alegria de ter
Valeria,
podido,
she
dentro do
has
seu
this
consultório, a
this
partir da sua
joy of
sensibilidade,
having been able
dar o start.
inside her
E
medical
precisamos levar
office
isso
to
a todas as
start this.
mulheres.
And
Compartilhe
we
conosco
need
essa
to
história
take
tão
this to
importante,
every
doutora.
single woman. So please share the story with us, doctor. Well, thank you. Thank you. So this story, I like to repeat a sentence that my father used to say. I believe God likes me a lot. Well, I'm sure God likes me a lot. And so things usually happen, and they give me that will. I want to overcome a problem. So I had a patient who had metastatic thyroid cancer. And many years ago, this patient had to take a PET scan. And this lady was the wife of a politician, and at that time, we only had this machine in Rio de Janeiro and in São Paulo, and in two places in Rio and two places in São Paulo. Why? Because the isotope, that is the marker of this kind of equipment, needed to be transported from the nuclear plant that belongs to the federal government to go to the hospital so that the exam could be done. So if my mother had cancer, my mother would have to travel to São Paulo. The treatment was working to stay there at a relative's house because there were only a few machines. It was really expensive, and maybe until the end of the treatment, she would have to go there many times. And we used to spend a lot of money. Imagine a person living in the north of Brazil, in the state of Acre, in the south of Brazil, in Rio Grande do Sul. What about the public healthcare system? Why didn't we have it in the public healthcare system? Only in Rio and São Paulo. Why? Because this isotope, in order for us to place it in the glucose that was necessary so that it could mark the place where the cancer was, this isotope had a short shelf life, so it had to be used immediately. It couldn't travel to the north of Brazil. So going back to my patient story, I talked to the senator. I said every single Brazilian should have the right to do this test. Every Brazilian should do this test easily. And he said, yes, why not? Would you help me? He said, sure. And so then we created a proposal, a constitutional amendment. It was not a bill of law, it was a constitutional amendment. We wanted to break this monopoly of the federal government that strengthened the glucose for this isotope to be used, to allow it to use any single place in Brazil. So the isotope would be transported and it would be used during the examination. And this was a blessing from God. It was a blessing from God. It was such a pluralistic idea that all of the committees at the National Congress approved this. At that time was Miss Abreu, a woman who helped us a lot. And then it was approved at the Federal Senate really quickly. And then finally, after 2 years, in 2006, we ended the federal government's monopoly. And this exam now is done anywhere in the country. Only in Brasília, the capital of Brazil, we have 5 machines. So there are practically no lines. The exam is cheaper. It's not only in the hands of a few people. Now it's part of the public healthcare system in Brazil. Chatting with Cesar earlier on, and every time I get a medical report of a PET scan, I start crying. I become very emotional. And I become very emotional when I see that report because all of us can contribute. We can contribute. We can add value to something as long as we want to change people's realities. It's very difficult to talk about pluralistic things. This is what makes all the difference. When we talk about I in the singular, not in the plural, getting things done is hard. But when you use the plural, or it is faster, better, it's easier, and then we can achieve greater things. So this is the experience that I have. Congratulations, Dr. Valeria. Congratulations. So we are moving on to the end of this phase of our event. But today, when we got together earlier and we had lunch together, many topics were discussed. We discussed many things, economics, genetics, but one question was the main topic of our conversations. And Dr. Valeria said, we're only going to be able to answer this question in the 2032 ABCZ Women event. But of course, I'm going to ask this question now to provoke you so that you can try to find an answer. We're talking about a male chauvinistic society. We're talking about challenges for women. We're talking about a very patriarchal country. But what about women? Are women male chauvinists? Are women male chauvinists? Well, well, this topic, this topic, wow, we talked about it. Are we male chauvinists? No, we're not male chauvinists. And then we were in doubt. In doubt, we were truly in doubt. You arrived at the conclusion that I'm not a male chauvinist. Yeah, And my son is here, and he can say if I tell you if I am a male chauvinist or not. No, I don't think I am because I came from a family in which my mom became a widow when she was really young. My father died when I was really young. And my mother didn't raise me to get married. Ah, you have to get married. Ah, you must get married in order to be happy. No, she said, no, you have to work. I didn't think I was going to get married. After I met Ivaldo, I fell in love, and then my mentality changed radically, and so I'm not gonna work hard any longer. But I was raised to become a professional woman. My mother was a warrior. She was fantastic. She became a widow when she was really young. At the end of her life, she had cancer at 11 different places in her body, and she struggled and struggled. She raised her children, all of her children, and all of them went to the university, and she even multiplied my father's income. Okay, but I have three brothers. They are older than I am, and I they don't want to dominate me. They never wanted to dominate me. And I believe this is my nature, my personality. Sometimes I fight with my husband because of how we raise our daughter, because he wants to raise her to be a traditional woman.
Vai dar
I'm
certo
gonna
porque ele é
have to give
presidente mesmo.
President Rivaldo the opportunity to reply. Yes, with my son. Yeah, my son, he can do that, but with my son, it's different. They, so I have one son and one daughter. So their upbringing has to be the same for both of them, in my opinion. What can he do? Whatever my son can do, my daughter can also do. Why not? So this topic started at lunch, and it became a very, very polemic topic. Yes, no, you're not chauvinistic. You're not chauvinist. But I have already solved my problem. If
Ainda bem que não.
Valeria has not solved the problem by 2032, but for Valeria, I believe things are a little more complicated because in her family, she had many military officers. She has three sons, and this question has bothered me a lot. And I concluded that if this question bothered me, it's because I am a chauvinist. And I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand, where am I being a chauvinist? Because this was a very unprecedented question. It was asked by Ariana, and she's super smart. Telling people I'm not a feminist, but a chauvinist. Oh my gosh, this question has been bugging me. So, so we have the marks of our upbringing. Besides my great grandfather, my grandfather, my father, they taught me strong principles because rural men were really tough, and I have a strong personality. And this helped my father a lot when he was a farmer or a rancher. And then I thought to myself, if I have double genes, I must have inherited this from my dad. Maybe in the next exogenetics, I'm gonna know if this gene
Patrícia,
is dominating my body or not. But now I don't have a straight answer for that. What about you, Patricia? Excuse me, my daughter. Excuse me, my daughter. My daughter is 16 years old. Her name is Mariana, and I would like to answer on behalf of my daughter, Mariana. She would say that no, that the new generations, they are not male chauvinists. It is a generation, and they respect women. Okay, and I don't
Assim
think
a gente
that I
espera que
am.
as gerações sejam melhores que as nossas, né?
Well, that's what we hope, that the future generations are going to be better than our generation. Well, based on my experience, I believe that my generation was a little faster with the topic of male chauvinism and feminism, but I would like to share with you an experience. As a woman, it is sometimes hard. I was sitting at a table with women, and so the question was, are women male chauvinists? And I started sharing with the group, let's pay attention to Brazil. Let's check out Brazil. So women, they are the owners of their own farms. And so and so I was very shocked. There are some women that said that they were only the owners of their farms because they were widows. And so I don't consider myself to be a male chauvinist. I was raised with three sisters and two brothers, and my father did an excellent job in raising us. It was an exemplary situation, and so that's my experience. I
Grandes
don't believe I
mulheres,
am a chauvinist.
histórias inspiradoras
Great
e a brilhante
women,
participação
inspiring
fiel da
stories
desembargadora.
that are
Isso hoje
making
é o
this
poder da
official
informação.
program.
A gente vai enxergar isso
Okay,
como importante.
something more
Esse é o nosso
brilliant. We are
quinto
going to
encontro,
wrap up
agradecendo a
this
Rosália
panel
Curado
of our
Machado,
fifth meeting.
advogada,
Thank you,
empresária,
Rosalia
presidente da
Curado
ABCZ e
Machado, a
ABCZ
lawyer, a
Obrigado.
businesswoman,
Parabéns
the
pelo trabalho que
president
feito
of
desde a
the
DEF.
ABCZ Woman. Thank you. Congratulations for the work
Eu
you have
também
done so
quero
far.
dizer a presença
I have
dessas
to thank you.
mulheres maravilhosas.
And I would
Vocês
like to
fizeram
thank the presence of these
evento sempre
wonderful women.
emocionante
You
e com
have
as
made this
experiências,
event
com os
better,
testemunhos de
more
vocês,
brilliant, and
só
with
nos
your
acrescentaram. Eu acho
testimonials,
que,
with your
acabando aqui, a
stories,
gente
you
tem um
only
assunto
added value
para
to our event.
resolver.
And then when we wrap
Nós
up
não
this
vai
panel
dar
or
para
this
ver
event,
esse
we're gonna
podcast
have
porque é
to
longo.
solve
Então,
this
com você, a
problem
gente precisa de algumas
because our chat is
parcerias
going to be long. And
do,
so we have to
da BC,
create some
do Banco
partnerships
do Brasil,
between ABCZ and the
por
Bank of
exemplo, porque o
Brazil.
Banco do
Okay.
Brasil é um grande parceiro da ABCZ,
Yes, because Bank of Brazil is a great partner
com
for
as
BCZ
doações e com
with the
os
donations and also for the women's group
movimento Agosto Rosa.
from
A gente poderia
Purple
conversar
August.
isso
So I believe that
lá,
we should sit
porque
down
hoje
and
nós
talk
temos
and
oportunidades.
go deeper on the
Você,
subjects because
Natália,
it's a great
fofa, uma
opportunities.
graça.
Natalia, you are
Defendemos hoje
adorable,
com garras.
and we
É,
defend
com
you today.
garras. Se depender, nós iremos lá. Para
And
defender
if
mais,
you
viu?
need,
Pode
we
contar
go there
conosco.
and we go
Conversas de
work
bastidores, viu,
with you.
pessoal? Esse a gente não vai poder revelar
Yeah,
aqui, não.
this we cannot reveal it what's going to be said. Yeah, we had a chain of goodness, and it was that amazing thing. How can we say we were?
Civilizadas, molestadas por uma pessoa
Yeah,
que vale a
we
pena falar.
were
Mas esse tipo de gente tem todo o
someone
direito,
glad
tem toda
to
a
us. We
razão de
were.
querer nos
I
jogar para
could say that
baixo.
we were
Mas nós
molested by
somos
someone that
mulheres
is not
fortes,
worth
nós somos
saying the name, but
determinadas
we
e
are
tudo
strong
bem.
women
A gente com
and we
coragem a
are
gente fala.
great women. So when we go, we
Olha, eu só
focus and
posso
we
falar
do
aqui que eu
well.
estava presente e elas
So I
metralharam,
was
viu?
present
A
and
situação lá. Está de
they went
parabéns.
great. They I
Obrigado,
like to
Natália, mais uma
congratulate
vez.
them.
Doutora Valéria,
So Rosario, once
obrigado pela
more,
presença,
thank you,
doutora em
Dr.
medicina
Valeria. Thank you
endocrinológica,
for being
área
here. And
importante da
breathing
saúde de tantas mulheres, de
endocrinologist
tantos
is an
homens e de
important
todos nós
role in
brasileiros.
women and men
Parabéns por aqui conosco.
healthy.
Muito obrigado.
And
A
so
honra
it's
imensa que a gente
pleasure.
pode
It's an honor
compartilhar um
to
pouquinho
be able to
da
share a
nossa
little bit
história, talvez
of
inspirar alguém
our
a fazer
story,
alguma
maybe
coisa
inspire
além
someone to do
do seu
something
pequeno universo,
beyond
fazer alguma
their
coisa
small
maior.
universe to do something that is
E a
going to
mulher
be
sempre enxerga isso,
bigger.
né?
And women, they always see ahead of them.
Viu, Rosália?
So thank you.
Fico
Thank you,
muito feliz.
Rosario, for
Obrigada
the
por
invitation. Thank you for
estar com tantas
allowing
mulheres
me
que me
to be
inspiraram
here to
hoje
share
também.
with that
Nós
many women
tivemos
that
o
inspire
prazer
me. No,
de
we
ter,
had pleasure
mas a
to
Valéria,
have
ela
all of
entrou
you here.
agora
But
recentemente
Valeria,
na
she
ABCZ, uma
got
vereadora
here at
recente,
BCG,
e já está levando os
BCGs,
prêmios. Eu não
and
sei o que, que ela
she's
vai fazer
already
com essa
getting a
mulher.
lot of awards.
Sim, para as mulheres
I think that she has a feeling
endocrinologistas
for
com os
women.
problemas, e no GAR
So
também, né?
she has a feeling for her um, health business is also with cattle, and she was comparing cow with women, and I was shocked. And I start observing her and start paying attention to what she was saying, and she was right. Nowadays, I sign anything that she says. So you are amazing. Congratulations, Natalia. Congratulations, Patricia, of course. And it was a pleasure. And it's a shame that we will have to stop our dialogue because you gave us Leo. So you must be crazy for us to stop talking so you can listen to Leo.
Natália, Natália, muito obrigado pela participação. Seja sempre bem-vinda aqui ao Brasil e
Natalia,
ABCZ
thank you. Welcome to
Podcast.
Brazil. You're always welcome. Thank you. I'd like to thank you all women that are here and also men that are here. For me, it's an honor. I will take this women experience and I go back very motivated to continue to do what I like more. Thank you.
Patrícia Chaim, gerente de comunicação e
Patricia
marketing da Fundação
Chain,
Banco do Brasil,
Communication Marketing
Fundação
Manager from Bank of Brazil, Bank
e
of
do
Brazil
Museu do Zebu.
Foundation, Report
Muito obrigado
Department
pela
of
participação
Zebu
e hoje
Museum.
por
Thank you for
enriquecer
being
a
here
nossa noite.
today. Thank you for bringing all your
Obrigada,
experience here.
Rosália.
Thank you,
Obrigada,
Rosalia.
Natália,
Thank you,
Valéria.
Natalia,
Prazer ter
Valeria.
vocês.
It's a pleasure to be
Parcerias
here with you.
são
To have,
fundamentais,
I
são
believe that partnerships
necessárias,
are
são
fundamental, are needed,
essenciais para a
and
gente
are
impactar cada
essential so
vez
we
mais
can
a vida
impact
das
more and
pessoas.
more
Rosália, conte
people's
conosco,
lives. Rosario, okay, so you
né?
can count on
Força aí
us
nas parcerias, principalmente as
the strength of
privadas.
this partnership,
Estamos à
especially the
disposição de
private
todos vocês.
partnerships.
Posso deixar um
We are
convite?
Por favor.
can I can I say
LinkedIn,
something?
Instagram,
LinkedIn,
Facebook, a fundação
Instagram,
está nas redes
Facebook,
sociais para vocês conhecerem
foundations
um
online.
pouquinho
So
mais,
in the social
saber
media, so
o
you
que a
can
gente
get to know
faz,
the
né?
foundation,
E
to know what we do,
poder contribuir de alguma
and to
forma,
be able to
participar,
contribute
onde
in
isso faz com que cada
somehow
vez
to
mais
be able to
pessoas se
participate,
engajem,
and
isso gera
this
mais
way people
visibilidade,
to be
atrai
more
mais
engaged, will generate
parcerias e
visibility and bring
impacta
more
a
partnership,
vida de mais pessoas. Essa é a cadeia de valor que queremos.
and
O
this
nosso
will
valor
impact
transforma.
this. This is what we want. This is what
Obrigado a
transforms.
todas vocês. O nosso quinto encontro ainda não terminou.
Thank
Você
you,
que
all
nos
of you.
acompanha pela ABCZ TV, o canal oficial do
This is
Zebu,
not the
continue
end. Those
conectado
who are
conosco. Os
following
nossos
us in
convidados
ABCZ,
permanecem aqui. Eu
our
devolvo a
guests will
palavra à nossa
continue
mestre de
here,
cerimônias,
and
a
I
Vânia.
pass the floor back to Valian. Thank you, Cesar. It was amazing. Girls, congratulations. Right now, the president of ABCZ Women, Rosário Cláudio Machado, will give some memories for the panel participants. I hope that you can take this. I hope that you can take this on your luggage. Now, Patricia. Valéria. We invite the participants to go back to their seats so you can continue. We invite Thiago Fernando to represent the 70 entities that were benefit from this management with the commission members of Zebu Bank, Ariana Franco, and Bruno to deliver this honor to Rosado Coralho Machado. So we would like to give you this a small gift to thank you for everything that was done. We thank you for trusting our work. Franco, Ariana, and Bruno. I didn't know I was going to receive this. I'm very touched and very happy to think that I only learned. This was a learning. This was amazing, and learned how to live with you, Thiago. He has how many people do you have? He has a foster home with 70 people, and the first time that I was there, it was they were having a party. Everyone was dancing, and we went there. We get this June celebration, and we were dancing with them. And Bruno was helping deliver the food for them, and he has this amazing work. And with ABCZ or not, I believe that you have a star that will keep shining. And I believe that our Holy Mother will protect you because your work is amazing. I have no words to talk about Franco because Franco knows everything. He's part of it. He knows that who can help, who we cannot. He has this work that I'm not sure how he gets his sleep because he's always working. Bruno is an amazing boy that works. He measure no effort to get the nations delivered. It's closed shoes, and we say this one belongs to women. Only women shoe, and when you get there, there is there's something different. But sometimes he gets some sleep. I got to the museum a day, and he was resting, and we know that is a lot of work. Ariane, I have no words to talk about you. Ariane started working with us, and Ariane helped us a lot. And sometimes I'm losing all my energy, and Ariane look at me and say, "Oh no, she's here." Ariane, thank you for your competence, for your work. I have to thank you all. Thank you a lot. Thank you for your work, and you came as a volunteer. Thank you, Rosalia. Now we will watch two small videos so you can be even happier. Good evening for those who don't know me. My name is Aline. I daughter of that amazing woman that is there with you today. And for those who know me, know how hard it is for me to have this type of speeches. And when the subject is about you, mom, it's a bigger challenge to be able to express in words any feeling that I had for you with something hard. But without further ado, I'm here today to congratulate the work that you you're doing with ABCZ, to say that you're the reason. I'm very proud of you. You are a mother. You're an amazing mother. You can say that you're flawless instead of being an amazing human being that has this amazing heart. Not only move mountains for their kids, for the family, but also to help those that are in need. And this makes you this amazing woman that you are. You are an inspiration to us. If I could be at least a third of what you represent to me as a woman, you can be sure that I would be delighted. And unfortunately, I could not be there today, but as you know, our heart is always together. Everything you represent as women, you can be sure that I will be delighted to be like you. So that's it. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there, but as you know, our hearts are always together, and I will be here enjoying the music. And that's it. I love you. I love you so much, and I miss you.
Boa noite a todos, boa noite,
Good
mãe.
evening, everyone.
Para
Good
quem não
evening,
conhece,
mom.
eu sou Rivaldo
For those who
Neto,
don't know me, I'm
filho da
Rivaldo
Rosália,
Neto.
que hoje
I'm
está sem sua
the son
esconderias.
of Rosalia that
ABCZ Mulher e
is the
ABCZ
ABCC
Bem.
woman and
E mãe,
ABCC Bank.
para
And I'm
parabenizar
here,
pelo
mom, to
trabalho
congratulate
realizado
you
por
for your
você
work,
e
everything
pelos
that you have been doing,
colaboradores da
and by
ABCZ
you and by the
em suas
ABCC
pastas.
collaborators in front
Um
of this
trabalho
two
exemplar, um
departments.
trabalho
Amazing work
fantástico,
and
nunca antes
fantastic
visto
work
na ABCZ,
that it was never seen before the
dedicado ao
ABCC,
bem, ao
work that
apoio
is
dos
related
necessitados.
to good
Foram mais
for
de
people,
70
to helping people. We had more
entidades
than
e
70
instituições beneficiadas
entities
pelos
in
institutos
foster
ABCZ.
homes,
Um pai
daycares
que nos
that
deixa
were
muito
benefit.
honrados e
So
muito
it's something
orgulhosos.
that
Na
makes us
ABCZ
very
Mulher,
proud.
três
In
iniciativas foram
ABCC
postas em
Women, we have
práticas.
three
Esse
initiatives that
exemplo
were
de
put
hoje é
into
um grande
practices.
exemplo, auditório
And this example
cheio de
today
gente
is a great
cheia.
example to have a
Então,
full
você,
house
além
there.
de uma mãe
So,
fantástica, amiga,
besides being
companheira,
an
é uma
amazing mother,
mulher
you're a
competente,
friend, you
que
are
nos
competent
orgulha. E
uh,
também agora, nesse muito belo
interpreter, a
trabalho social
businesswoman,
feito
and
pela
today
ABCZ.
it is amazing social
Parabéns
work
pelas
being done
realizações,
at
parabéns
ABCG.
por
Congratulations
tudo
for
que você
everything
fez.
you have
Um
been
grande
doing,
beijo.
for everything you've done.
Senhoras e senhores, enquanto o staff
Ladies and
prepara o palco
gentlemen,
para a nossa
as
próxima
we get
canção,
the stage ready
espero
for
que
the
procure
next
embaixo dos
uh,
assentos
for the show, I would like you to look
colocar bem ali
in the bottom of
a descer do
your
palco
chair
para retirá-lo.
a prize. Those who find, please come to the stage to get the prize.
Aqui tem uma mesa ali onde estão os brindes.
There's a table there that you can find your prizes.
Mostra para mim. Não, eu tenho que anunciar aqui. E para brilhantar ainda mais este quinto encontro ABCZ Mulher, que conta com tantas personalidades importantes para o fortalecimento da mulher na sociedade e no agronegócio,
seasoned different
imprimindo cada
people
vez
to
mais uma
strengthen
imagem
women's
forte
role in
de uma pecuária
agribusiness
que
and
acredita,
in
respeita,
placing an image, a
investe
better
e
image of a
oportuniza
livestock production
segurança
that
alimentar e
invests,
produção
empowers
sustentável.
in food
Vamos
security
assistir
and a
a palestra
sustainable
de
kind
um
of
expoente
production.
nacional,
Let's
que se
watch
destaca
now the
também como cantor,
presentation of
compositor,
a local national
escritor,
speaker who's also a singer,
arranjador,
a composer,
produtor
a
e
writer,
ainda
and
palestrante
he's
e
also a
produtor
producer,
rural.
and
E é
he's a speaker
reconhecido como um
and
dos
a,
principais artistas
producer
brasileiros
or
há
farmer,
mais de uma
and he's
década.
known as one of the
Fundou em
main artists
2016
in Brazil for 10 years.
Instituto
And
que trabalha com o desenvolvimento das habilidades socioemocionais
he works
de
by
crianças e
developing
adolescentes
social
e chama a
emotional
atenção dando mais
characteristics
de
and skilled
um
women of children and teenagers.
programa público de 24 anos. Tem associado diversas marcas sua prioridade com o agro,
Translation apologizes, the audio is
e
failing.
atuação. Senhoras e senhores, convidamos ao palco
Ladies and gentlemen,
Leo
we
Chaves.
would like to invite onto the stage Mr. Leo.
Tudo bem, pessoal? Boa noite.
Hello, guys. Good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's a great honor to be a part of the fifth edition of the ABCZ Woman Women in Agri, thank you so much for the invitation. It's a great honor to be here, mainly when it comes to agribusiness. Okay, I'm also part of agribusiness, and I'm very proud of being a part of this. I'm going to share with you a little bit of my story, and I have many, many jobs. I wear many, many hats, and I work mainly with music. Okay, most of you, I believe that you know me because I'm a singer, and I have already given other presentations here to you, but mostly sung to you. I believe that this is the second or third time I am going to give you a presentation, but most of you know me more like a singer, right? Okay? Have you seen me sing? Yes. Most of you, most of you live here in Uberaba. Is that it? No, no, no. Ah, so we have people from other regions here in Brazil. Excellent, excellent. So wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about leadership based on my stories, based on my experiences, okay? And a little bit on my stuff, okay? So let's start discussing the following. What is the idea of leadership that we have, that you have? Think about this a little bit. Many people are going to think that it is being ahead of a large company, being the owner of a company. You need to be the owner of a company, or you don't need to be a huge business person, a wonderful business person to be a leader. Being a leader is knowing how to influence people. If you're not in a line following people, if you are the leader of a line, if you become a benchmark for people, you exercise some kind of leadership. But today, I know there are many business people present in this auditorium. So let's focus on that. Leading people is influencing people. Being a protagonist for you to influence people effectively and with more impact. The autonomy and being a protagonist is essential. So you have to be the leader of yourself. You need to have a connection, to be connected with yourself. And so you can become a leader. You are the leader of yourself. You start impacting people. What would I like to share with you tonight? There are many people that I get to know. They are ahead of large companies. And they think that they know how to be a leader. Others that have vast knowledge apologizes. The audio is really, really bad. I apologize. So, so they are in a large company. Today's leaders is the person that create armies, the person who can armies. It's useless for you to have vast knowledge, but are not able to share this with your team. So, okay, so in the past, people would trick other people so that they could become a leader, and this is what's happening now. Now we need people who share, people who influence other people. This is leadership. And so, do we occupy this place? Do we occupy this position? How can we do that? By having training courses, organizing meetings, connecting with one another, with other people. At the beginning of any kind of business, Victor and I, we went through this. So for 15 years, played at bars. It was only me, my former partner, and four more people. I'm going to show you a little bit about that time when we used to play at bars. Can you see the images? Okay, because I don't know if the video is nice, is clear. So this is when we played at bars in the city of São Paulo, and I'm contacted because for those 15 years when we played at bars, okay, it's easier when we are growing. So then we were six people, and our repertoire was okay because we played at bars. We played and sang everything. I know that you guys like Brazilian country music. Do you want to listen to Brazilian country music? Because I'm going to sing Vitor later on. But old Brazilian country music. Would you like to request any songs? Would anybody like to request any songs? Ah, there is a beautiful Brazilian song called Menino da Porteira. This is not going to be a concert, okay? It's going to be maybe one song, but it's only going to be a short part of the song.
E com alguém abre a porteira, toque o berrante no mundo. Isso aqui é um backing vocal. Quando a boiada passava e a poeira ia baixando, eu jogava uma moeda e ele saía pulando. Obrigado, boiada. Pra aquele sertão afora, meu berrante ia tocando. Tá bom, Betão. Esse é o Menino da Porteira.
That's the song, Menino da Porteira.
Eu encho o saco dos meus colegas palestrantes e falo uma coisa assim, a única palestra que tem
Sometimes I bug my colleagues who are speakers and I tell them I'm the only speaker who also sings during this presentation. So it was easier back then. But now let's continue discussing leadership. This is our main topic for tonight. Being a protagonist.
A palavra decisão vai ter peso enorme dentro desse lugar que a gente está falando.
And this is going to be very, very important. Also, making choices, making making a decision. What do you understand by the word decision? It seems to be such a common word. Sometimes we don't even know what decision really means. The only decision that you can make is the decision that you're going to make now. Now, which path are you going to follow? You always have several paths ahead of you. You have to make choices. It's important to decide where you're going to. When making a decision, one of the most important things is your attitude. Your attitude to know how to test, to take risks.
Exatamente isso. O cara que cresce numa empresa e chega na ponta é o cara
The
que tem
person that grows in a company and reaches the top positions is the person that has a great attitude, vision, view, makes decisions.
agora é fácil
They are
falar
not
de
afraid
intuição,
of making
porque as
mistakes.
pessoas falam de intuição.
But what about
Pô, tem que
intuition?
seguir o
Many
coração,
people
seguir a intuição,
talk
que nada
about
está certo
intuition.
naquela
You
hora.
have to follow your heart. You have to follow your intuition. If you think that's right, please raise your hand. When making decisions, do you think that you should
É,
follow
Rose,
your
50%.
intuition? Raise your hand.
Vamos
So
dividir essa
about
ideia.
50% of
Essa
the
altura
audience agrees with that.
é
Let's
necessário.
divide this idea.
Eu estou
Let's
falando de
split this
líderes aqui na
idea
conversa, inclusive.
because
É
it's
necessário
I'm talking about leaders
é
whom I know
necessário
and I
ouvir
talk to.
ideias.
It's important to
É
listen to
importante
people.
ouvir
It's
ideias.
important to listen to ideas.
Prestem atenção
It's
numa
very
coisa.
important to listen
Se
to
você
ideas.
chegou
But please
a um
pay
lugar de
attention to the
liderança,
following. If
é
you
porque você
have
conseguiu
become a leader, it's because you have
decisão.
walked on a path.
Tem que ter percorrido
And
um
in
caminho.
order to make a decision,
Não são
you
todas
have
as
to
pessoas vão
have
saber tomar as
walked on a path.
decisões.
It's not
Tem
everybody
gente
who's
que
going
percorreu o
to be
caminho.
able to make
Então, eu
decisions.
penso que
Only those
ouvir
who
a
walked
voz
on a
interna
certain path. I
e a
believe that
intuição
listening to
para a
your inner
construção, o
self,
momento de decisão,
listening to your
depois de ter ouvido as
intuition,
pessoas,
connecting to
é a
your
parte
own
fundamental.
personal intuition after
A
listening to
decisão,
other people
a
is
decisão e a
essential.
escolha
The
é individual.
the choice is individual, okay?
Apenas a
The
pessoa
decision
pode tomar. Até
only
porque, muitas vezes, se você for compartilhar
the person
decisões,
can make the decision.
corra quem for
Because if you
administrador, quem for líder,
share decisions, it's going to be terrible
agradeço.
because he did it, she
Obrigado por
did it,
compartilhar,
she made the
obrigado por me
decision.
ajudar. Agora eu vou pensar
Thank you
em
for your
tomar a decisão.
opinion. And now I'm going to
Essa
start
é a
thinking
posição do
about
líder.
this.
É
I'm going
assumir
to
a
start thinking and
responsabilidade.
making my decision.
Esse é o
This is the
lugar do
role
líder.
of a leader, to take responsibility.
Eu estudo
That's the
muitas vezes
leader's
alguns
place.
projetos, eu e o Vitor,
And
e a gente fica
many
passando por
times,
situações nãos,
Victor and I, we went through moments
dos
we
nãos
had to
parceiros,
overcome all of the no's. Don't
não
do
venha para São
this. Are you
Paulo.
crazy?
Eu tenho
Don't
7 anos em
do this.
BH.
Don't go to
Vai
São
fazer o que em São
Paulo.
Paulo? Vocês não
We
conhecem ninguém,
sang
não tem o que
in Belo
fazer, não tem
Horizonte for
amigos,
7 years.
não conhece
Why are
ninguém.
you going to São Paulo? You don't know
Meu filho,
anybody there. You don't
você já
have
tem
any
muita
friends
coisa
there.
percorrido um
You don't
caminho.
have any
Você tem que ir
relatives
lá
there.
dentro.
But after hearing many
Intuição.
things, listening to many people, we
No início,
decided that we
pancada,
were going to São Paulo.
quebramos,
At the beginning in
perdemos
São
tudo.
Paulo, we went bankrupt. We lost everything. We were hit
No
from
início,
all places,
devendo,
but then things
falei,
worked out.
olha
At
lá.
the beginning, they said, see, I told you, I told you.
Então, ouvir o coração
But
e a
then things
intuição
worked
é uma
out.
coisa que a gente precisa
So
aprender a
sometimes
fazer.
you have to listen to your
Saber
heart, you
que
have
do
to
outro lado
listen
está
to
o
your
vento.
intuition.
Será?
Why? Because on the other side, you have
Olha,
fear.
a gente
Is
tem
this
que
going to
aprender a
work
não
out? We
fazer,
shouldn't
não
be afraid
decidir
of
e não
making
ter
mistakes.
atitude na vida.
We should be afraid of not doing things, not
Certo?
making decisions, and
A arte
not
de
having
influenciar
any
e
attitude,
liderar
right?
exige uma
So
habilidade
the art of
imprescindível
influence
em
and
você
lead
escolher o
people
caminho,
requires an
a arte de
essential
comunicar.
quality.
Se
And
você
and I
quer
have
se tornar
discovered this
um líder,
throughout my journey. You have to know how to
um
communicate.
protagonista,
If you want to
um
become a
cara
leader, if you want to
independente
become a
e formal,
protagonist, if you
você
want
vai
to
para esse
be
lugar de comunicação.
autonomous,
Olha
independent,
só,
you
pense
should
para valorizar
focus on
as
communication.
pessoas que
Dear
ocupam
friends,
uma posição de
think
liderança
about
que
the
vocês conhecem.
people who are leaders,
Olha, enfrentam
people who are
problemas
leaders and
todas
that you
elas
know.
não têm
Now,
uma
stick with
comunicação
me.
eficiente.
Aren't these people excellent at
Portanto, se
communicating?
você
Aren't
está num
they
lugar onde
effective
você tem medo
communicators?
de se
That's why.
comunicar, a
If
sua
you are
vida
at a
precisa
place
estar
that you are afraid of speaking, of communicating, of
nesse
expressing
lugar.
yourself, of questioning people, leave that
Comunicação é a
place. Leave that
base
place.
de liderança.
Communication is the foundation
Isso.
of any leader,
Em
of
quaisquer esferas,
any person. In any
é a
place, in
comunicação.
any
Pode vir
sector,
com você como sua
communication
portanto,
is the
descobrindo e às vezes
soul of human
lamentando,
beings. And I'm going to
venho
share a
tendo
few
resultados
points with
positivos
you
sobre
that I
comunicação.
have been experiencing and I
Magnetismo
have
pessoal.
been having positive
Alguém conhece isso?
results.
Levanta a mão quem conhece.
Personal magnetism. Do you know what personal
O que é
magnetism is?
magnetismo,
Raise your
meus
hands.
amigos?
Personal magnetism. Do you
Já
know what
encontraram
that
com
is?
pessoas que muitas vezes
Have you ever
dificilmente
met
viam você sendo amado e se
anyone
sentiu
that you had never saw that person, but you sit next to that person and you start feeling
surpreendidos,
bad?
inclusive.
You start
Muito
feeling bad,
psicológico.
and they said, "Yes, yes, okay, that was really intense."
Por outro lado, já encontraram com pessoas
On the other hand, have you ever
que
met
não
someone
conhecem, não
that
convivem,
you don't know,
mas
you
você
never
sente
saw it, and but you feel
a
well
energia da pessoa?
and you feel
Magnetismo.
people's energy? This is a personal magnetism.
O magnetismo pessoal
This personal
começa
magnetism,
dentro
it
da
starts
mente. Tem
inside, in
palestra
your
que
mind.
dia
I
poderia
have
fazer com
a
vocês que é sobre
speech that
comunicação e
someday I
vendas.
want
Fala o
to
seguinte:
talk
em
to you
vendas,
about
quem
communication
trabalha
and
com
sales.
vendas,
And you say
você
in
frente a
sales,
frente
I
tem
work with
problema.
sales. A lot of people here
Fala
work
você
with
novamente que
sales.
trabalha com vendas aqui.
Please let me know
Puxa
those
vida,
who work in
eu sou
sales.
colega de vocês porque
Yes, so I'm your
eu
colleague.
entendo que desde quando eu comecei a trabalhar eu
I
sou vendedor.
understand that
Todos
since
nós
I
somos
started working,
vendedores.
I'm a sailor.
O
I'm a
professor é
seller,
como um
so we
vendedor.
are all sellers. The teacher is a
Precisa vender uma
seller.
ideia para o aluno, ele precisa vender
They
uma
need
aula
to
para o aluno.
sell the students' idea.
Influenciar.
They need to
A
convince. They
venda
need
é
to
uma coisa muito
influence.
importante, está muito
So
alinhada em vendas
selling
para
is very
comunicação.
important. It's very aligned
Deixa eu
association
te
to
falar o seguinte em
communication.
vendas. Se
What we
você vai
tell,
conversar com o seu cliente,
if
vai
you're
encontrar com
going
o
to
seu
talk
cliente
to your client,
pensando
you're going to meet
em
your
ganhar
client
com
thinking
uma mentalidade de
on
disputa, que você vai
winning
prestar
with
pela venda e
this
ganhar
like a
dele.
dispute that you need to be
Já viu
better
isso
than
ganhar?
him and you need to win, you are already losing
Tirar proveito.
because you're not going to win like that. We see this.
Uma das ferramentas mais importantes em venda é o
One of
magnetismo
the
pessoal.
most important tools is the
É uma
personal
intenção
magnetism.
positiva.
Is to have the
É você ter
positive
um senso
intention. Is to have
de
this
servidão com as pessoas.
sense
É você
that how
entender
you're
que a
going to
venda
work
é
with
uma
people. It's
forma de você
understanding
servir as pessoas.
that to sell is to serve
O
people.
produto que você vai entregar é uma
The
forma de você
product that we're
impactar a
going to
vida dela.
deliver is a way to impact
Quando você coloca isso na mentalidade
their
deles,
life. And when
no seu
you put
DNA,
this in your
você
mindset,
leva
in
isso
your
para o cliente,
DNA, you take this to
50%
the
de
client,
venda.
you have 50% of
A
your sale.
oportunidade de
And
utilizar
you have
isso
the
e
opportunity
praticar
to
isso
use this, to practice
frequentemente
this
em reuniões que eu faço com clientes
in
meus.
meetings that I have with
Eu estou
clients and
aqui por
partners.
vocês.
I'm
Eu quero
here for
oferecer algo
you.
para vocês.
I'm here to offer
Eu quero
something to
fazer
you.
bem, eu quero
I
servir
want
vocês.
to,
Esse
I want
magnetismo
to
é
serve
poderoso.
you. This is powerful.
Cuidar da intenção
So
dentro da
to
conectação do
be
magnetismo
careful with your
pessoal.
intention inside this
Ótica
personal
quântica
magnetism.
é a
And
energia que você passa.
magnet's point of view is the energy that it
Física
passing
quântica explica
is
isso
transmitting to that
perfeitamente.
other person.
Outro ponto é a
And this is easy
dissociação.
to
Como
explain.
eu cuido do meu
Another thing is
magnetismo, como eu cuido da minha energia.
to separate things. How do I
A
take
gente
care
tem
of my
dias
magnetism, my
que não
energy?
funciona.
So some days
A gente tem
things just don't
problemas
work
em
out.
vários
We have
tipos,
problems
certo?
in different types,
Várias esferas. Tem problema de saúde,
different spheres.
familiar,
We have health,
financeiro,
family, financials,
cultural,
emotional,
vários tipos.
different
Deixa eu perguntar
types.
uma coisa para vocês.
Let me
Quem
ask
de
you
vocês aqui
something.
já teve aquele dia que você acorda,
Have you ever
você
had that day
trabalha,
that you
sua vida
wake
vai
up and you
tudo
pay
certo, sua família
everything,
está bem, o
everything
casamento
is
está bem,
okay, your
a
relationship is
empresa está bem,
great,
o
your
dinheiro está
marriage is
maravilhoso,
great,
a saúde
everything's
está em dia.
amazing,
E
health
você
is
tem a sensação de
amazing,
que não está bem.
and you just have the feeling that you're not good. Raise your hand who
Exatamente, todo mundo para mim.
felt like this once. A lot
Por que
of
será?
people. And why this happened?
A coisa que a gente talvez deveria mais valorizar
Thing that
é a
we
mente,
should
o
value the
pensamento.
most is our mind, your mindset.
O externo está tudo bem, mas
The external is great, but
então, pessoal,
inside,
o contrário também é possível.
so the opposite is also possible.
Como é que a gente
This is
faz isso?
separating
Aquele
things.
dia
How we
que
separate
você
things.
acorda e
That
percebe
day
que está tudo
that you wake up and you
vai
realize
alguma
that
coisa muito
everything
mal.
is awful,
Doença, problema
or
financeiro,
you have like a
conflito com
disease,
alguém
a
que você
financial
ama,
problem, a
seja lá o que
conflict with
for,
someone
alguma
you
coisa que
love.
tira você do
It can be
sério.
anything, something that
Vamos
takes
entender o
your
seguinte:
attention. We need to
se eu
understand that it is possible to have the other way around.
mudar a
It
minha
is possible
frequência
to
para ter
change my frequency to
dissociação,
be good.
isso
This is how you
quando
dissociate.
conecta
This it's going to connect people. I'm going to give you an example. Do you have any teachers here?
Professor que
The
faz
teacher
tração
that
e leva
goes
o
to the
problema, fica
classroom
ali
and
vendo o
takes
problema,
his
conecta os
problem
alunos.
it's going to connect with
Como é que ele
his
faz isso? O professor é
students.
mestre em
But how he is going to do that? He is a master in
ele dá um
dissociation.
jeito
He needs to get there, and he needs to be great.
de ter carisma,
He needs the energy, he needs the charisma, he needs to smile, he needs to hold that student because he's there to
e a gente precisa
give that information, and we need to learn with them. We need to learn from them. How we are going to decouple this, we are going to
utilizo
dissociate
muito
that.
isso. Essa é uma
I
ferramenta
use this a
importantíssima.
lot. This is an
Comece a
important
treinar
too.
isso.
So we start
Você
training
não é
this.
refém
You
do
start
externo.
training. You are not a hostage of the
Você não
external.
é refém
You
dos
are not a
problemas.
hostage of your
Quem
problems.
manda aqui dentro sou
Who
eu.
I'm the boss here.
Perfeito? É fácil.
That's perfect. It's easy. It's not easy at all.
Ganhar a Olimpíada também não é fácil.
But to win an Olympic is not so easy. Those who practice win.
Bom, importante
We need to
que
practice.
sua conexão como líder
And it's important that your connection as a leader, our connection as a leader, needs to be
Olha só,
collective.
pessoal, a importância
See how important it is to have this team.
conexão coletiva, liderança coletiva.
Have this collective collection,
Relacionamento.
leadership, relationships.
Eu estou falando de algo que para
I'm
nós
talking
todos,
about something that for all of us in different departments it's fundamental.
essencial.
This is essential.
Posso relacionar com as pessoas?
It is easy to
Quem são as
relate with
pessoas que
people.
mais incomodam a gente?
Who are those who bother us the most?
Próximas.
Next ones,
Você mais convive.
the ones that are closed, the relatives, the one that you
Com elas que a gente
have
tem
to
que
meet
começar a treinar
every day.
a arte
Those are
de
the
se
ones that we
relacionar.
need to start
Até
practicing
porque
the art of
se a
relations.
gente
Because
aprende a se
if
relacionar,
we learn
no
to
fim das
relate
contas,
at the end of the
passa a ser uma
day,
pessoa craque em
we start being someone that is going to be great on network.
network hoje é
And
muito
network nowadays, it's
no teu negócio, no meu
it's
negócio.
something that's going to be very important
Só
in
de
my
saber
business, your business. But if I'm losing to my close relationships, we need to practice
E
that.
o que eu estou falando? Eu estou falando sobre inteligência.
And what am I saying? I'm talking about emotional intelligence.
Daniel Goleman falou sobre inteligência emocional.
Daniel Goleman talked about emotional intelligence. It was amazing. Self-control,
Neutralização da emoção.
neutralizing our emotions.
Alguém fala alguma coisa que te atinge.
Someone says something that is going to bother you. They know that it bothers you. Are you going to react and you're going to accept that?
Só que a gente morde.
But we do.
Não é fácil.
Sometimes they tease us and we get into us. So what do I need to do? I need to practice. I have 3 sons and I can talk with them about this because we know that at school people bully one another. They try to make the others, they make choice, and you have to practice this. If you train your brain to react all the time, to be on top of everything all the time, is going to be hard to change. It's important for us to position ourselves and start practicing the contrary. You have to protect yourself, and you have to keep saying, oh, I have a shield. And if we start having this shield, we can be in peace. So leader, you need tolerance. You need to be patient. An explosive leader is the past, is a part of the past. The collective leader, more and more he will start collecting with people, he will grow more and more. Let me tell you something, that story that went wrong, because I'm not saying about everything that I can do. Usually I give speeches throughout Brazil, and I keep telling people every day, sometimes I'm wrong. This is not I'm not saying that everyone can do anything, but when I'm able to do what I'm sharing here, it works.
Vou
It's
contar
not every
um
time.
episódio que deu muito
So
ruim.
let me talk
Deu
about
muito
something
errado e
that
vai
was
repetir
not good.
amargamente.
I regret
Uma vez em Porto
profoundly
Alegre,
about that. Once I was
tinha
at
um
Porto
show de
Alegre
rádio.
and we had a
Falar
radio
cidade, não
show,
queria falar cidade.
a radio program.
Sem querer.
I talked about the city. I'm sorry, I didn't want to
Tinha um
mention
rolê.
the
Uma
city.
vez num estado, numa
Imagine
cidade,
that I didn't say, oh,
eu fui
sometimes in the
fazer
state,
show
in
de
the
rádio
city,
durante o dia
I was going to a radio program
e tínhamos um
during
show
the
numa
day
outra cidade à noite.
and we had a concert in a
A gente
different
tinha um
city
horário para
at
cumprir.
night. So
Chegamos no
we had
camarim,
this time to follow. When we got
um
to
cara
the
na rádio,
change room, the owner of the radio,
bastante arrogante.
and
Chega no camarim e
he
fala
was
assim,
not a nice person,
você é
and he
Vitor e
said,
Léo, beleza?
"Ah, you are Vitor de
Vou passar
Leo?
vocês para a última,
Okay,
porque vocês
so you're gonna be the
estão
last
competidão,
one
vocês estão bem pra caramba, vocês estão nessa
because
rádio,
you guys are
então vocês
great,
vão ganhar.
and
Tá bom?
you're gonna be the last one because we need
Infelizmente a gente não pode
the audience." I said, "Unfortunately, we cannot do that
a gente tem
because
que
we had a
entrar na
show,
rádio.
we have a
Ele falou, não tá
concert.
ainda não,
We
bicho.
need to be the first
Ainda não,
ones."
vocês têm que estar
No,
preparando.
no, people are not here.
Sabe
You need
quantas
to
vezes eu
be the
toquei
last
você aqui
one.
na rádio, rapaz?
Do you imagine how many times I play your
Não,
song here every
muito
day?
obrigado pela parceria, mas não
Yeah,
dá pra
thank
gente
you for
ficar
the
esperando
partnership, but we
20
cannot
minutos,
be
as
the
pessoas estão
last
esperando.
ones. We cannot leave people
Embora.
waiting. We need to
A gente vai
go.
fazer um showzão pra você.
So,
Aí eu
and we can go now. And the guy said,
tá vendo só? Falei pra você.
"See,
O cara quando cresce,
I
começa a
told
fazer
you,
sucesso.
when they start being successful, they start being annoying.
Estão achando que estão por cima.
Oh, they think they are the
Depois de quem
best.
fica famoso e faz sucesso,
The
falta
problem of
humildade,
those
perde
who are
humildade.
successful because they are not humble.
Ó, manda avisar pra turma lá do show de vocês lá que vocês vão
Let
ficar por
people
último.
know that you're gonna be the last
Saiu daqui, ó.
ones." And he left and closed the door.
Pensa num cabra que ficou pirado e doido, fui eu.
I was going crazy.
Atiçou. Pra quê?
He made me go crazy.
Pensa num homem de 1,94 m brabo.
Imagine a man like me, my size, and I was angry.
É brabo, é feio.
I was very angry.
Mineiro ainda por cima.
And I'm from Minas Gerais. So imagine that.
Cheguei lá.
I got there.
Nosso produtor falou assim,
I told our
Valentão lá,
producer,
nós estamos subindo.
let him know that we are going up. We are singing now.
Aí o Wilson falou assim, mas tem uma dupla cantando. Eu falei, espera
And he told him, oh, someone is singing. I don't care. We are going to be the next ones. And I'm going there, so I'm going to sing. I don't care. And everyone was looking at me. They were not understanding. And we got there. They said that we were there. People watching us, and they were screaming and saying, let's go to the stage. And we went, we sang. At the end of the concert, he came. And no, in the middle of the concert, he came. It was a radio, some like 3 songs. We would sing 3 songs without the band. It was playback. Usually it works like that. It's simple. And he got the phone, he got to the stage, and he said, I knew it would be successful, my dear Vitor Hilel. And I said, don't come here. And I had 20,000 people watching me. My mic was on, and I said, don't come here. Don't come here. I want to sing. I want to sing. And people, yes, cheering. And I said, don't come here. Don't get to the stage. And he said, no, they're going crazy. At the end, as this was not enough, I went out of the stage. I got next to him. He was short. He was a short man. And say, I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to use this. I got close to him. And I was so angry, so angry. I got next to him and I told him, let me tell you something. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid. You need to respect people that come to the station. And I got like this into his nose. You need to respect people that are coming here to work for you.
na
And
frente
if
todo
you
mundo.
do something, I will let everyone know.
O pessoal que estava na época lembra disso até hoje.
And people who were
História que ficou conhecida.
next to me, they remember this. That's something that people got to know, and he was shaking it.
Rapaz, ele ficou, mas nunca vi um homem tão manso.
And I never saw someone so afraid.
Saímos, fomos embora fazer o show.
We left and we went to the next city to do the concert.
Tirou a gente da rádio, era uma rede.
So they stopped playing our songs. They didn't receive us for the next concert. It was a mess. And I was very sorry after that. It could have been different. That's why I say that neutralizing our emotion and focusing on a different thing, it's a great tool.
Vocês também já passaram por isso?
Have you been through something like this?
Contar para mim aqui a história?
Someone wants to tell something here?
94 não, viu?
No, you don't need to have to be as tall as me. Does anyone want to share something? Please raise your hand, those who went through something like this.
Comigo não? Não é possível.
No? You're afraid?
Ué, vem cá.
Yes, please, come here.
Eu tô bem, e você?
Bem, graças a
Seu nome?
Are you okay? Yes.
Deus. Esqueceu de mim, né?
Não esqueci. Tudo bem, Sonia?
My name is Sonia. Have you forgotten me?
É?
Aqui
It's the fifth time
Então,
that I go to your presentation.
lembrei agora. Nossa Senhora.
Yes, I remember you now.
Bem, tá?
Yes, I can pretend also.
Conta pra nós aí o que você passou. Você tem minuto.
So let us know. You have a minute. Please let us know what you've been through.
Tá. Eu estava preparando.
Yes, I was preparing an event in my city,
Simplesmente fizeram.
and
Me deixaram de lado.
people want to.
Acontecendo.
I didn't know what was happening. People forgot about me,
Eu não tinha participado.
and when everything was ready, I was not part of anything. So
Vocês são os traíra.
I started saying, "Oh, you don't.
Isso, mas nesse lugar não quero saber de você,
I'm
não
not
conheço
coming back
ninguém,
here.
mas
You
eu vou
don't
embora,
deserve me. I don't know anyone, and I'm going home."
Larguei
And I
tudo,
went
gente,
home.
mas foi
And
um
I
na
left
casa, eles me
everything
ligavam.
there.
Vem
And
aqui,
one went to
o
my
evento
house.
tá
The other one was
começando,
calling me,
não sei
saying,
o
"Oh,
quê.
come back here. The event's
Eu
not
pensando,
without you." And
eu não
I
não tinha nada envolvido monetariamente, graças a Deus.
no, I was not getting any money.
E eu fui embora e depois mas
And I left,
são para pessoas.
but it was not. It was for me. It was supposed to be for other people. So
Né? Não é verdade? Não, a sua
yeah,
história
it
foi
was
tão interessante,
great.
você foi tão
You're
simpática que você vai pedir uma música.
you were so amazing that you're going to.
Pode
You
ser
can
sem ser moral?
order. You can request a song. Yeah,
Só não me aperta muito.
anything you
Eu pedi pra
want.
você cantar para mim no telefone, lembra?
I call you and I ask you something. Do you
Você vai
remember?
falar naquela nossa conversa íntima?
You talk about our
Aquele nosso bate-papo
our
íntimo?
intimacy,
É, aquele mesmo.
the
Borboleta.
chit chat that we have. Oh, there's a
Borboletas.
song called Borboletas.
Show, adorei você.
Love you.
Percebo que o tempo já não passa, você diz que não tem graça. Canta comigo, vai. Foi tudo tão bonito, mas voou um infinito parecido. Agora você volta e balança o que eu senti por outro alguém, dividido entre dois mundos. Não sei dizer o que mudou, mas numa noite estranha a gente se estranha e fica mal. Você tenta provar que tudo em nós morreu. Sempre voltam e o seu jardim sou eu. Muito bom. Continuando aqui uma outra
Well,
característica
continue here. Another
da liderança de um líder
Another feature of leader characteristic is to have a purpose. The main thing is to have a purpose. So what's the purpose? That is something that people keep talking about nowadays. What do you think it's a purpose? To have a purpose is to have important address, to have this life address, is to have something that is going to move you, to make something bigger that is going to move you, is to have a reason for being here. The problem that we are in a time in the fourth humanity revolution in the digital world, and people are going in circles without knowing where they're going, why.
So we have the internet and social media. I don't want to judge anybody, but sometimes we don't have enough whys, or why are we doing this? Whom are we doing this for? We don't have a purpose. What difference does that make in your life when you have a greater calling, a greater purpose to wake up early, to face all the no's and follow and go ahead, to respect other people, to try to be a better person? When you have a reason to do that, you can overcome many things. You do not give up easy. You do not give up easily. We are living through a moment in history that seems that the youngest generation, I don't want to judge anybody, but I believe that we are always trying to find a shortcut. We're always trying to find the easiest solution. Am I wrong or not? I believe that this is a lack of a life address. It's the lack of a horizon that is going to push you forward. So I'm going to tell you a story to tell you when I understood purpose. So when we went to São Paulo, we went bankrupt. Right after that, I was invited by a friend. And at that time, when we went bankrupt, I wanted to give up music. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to teach people how to play tennis. Everything worked out terribly. And I told my brother, Vitor, goodbye. And we had been singing for over 10 years, 10 years. And then a friend of mine invited me to meet Hortensia. She's an older lady called Hortensia, and she's even on my cell phone. That lady taught me something that I still think about every single day today. She was 84 years old. She needed a wheelchair. She had nobody in her life. She had immigrated from Germany, and I started discussing my personal problems with her. Miss Hortensia. So I had a disease that had no cure. My back. Oh, she had a disease that had no cure. She could not stand up because her spine was not prepared for that. Nobody in her family helped her. She didn't have anybody, and she only lived to help other people. And she was really, really sick. And I got there. I was crying. I was crying about my problems to her, complaining about my problems. Oh, we have no audience. We are not making money. We went bankrupt. And she only smiled, she only smiled. And she said, son, it's larger than that. It's greater than that. Life is not only that. You have a beautiful gift of singing to people, of making people smile, of changing people's lives, of making people feel emotional. Focus on that. Don't focus on the results. The most important is what you're going to give people. Do your best, and then the rest is going to come. Do everything you do with love. If you're going to sing to one person, give it your best. And do you know what she taught me? To have a purpose, to have a purpose, to change people, to change people, invest in people. Everything I did after that was thinking about that. Everything I did, I was thinking about that. If I write one book, if I write two books, I'm now writing my third book, and I thought about that. That made me wake up early, write a book, to think to think that I would have the opportunity to change one person. If I give presentations, it's because of that. If I faced every single joke and know that people told me and gave me, it's because of that. So, what is a country singer doing here? Why is he giving a presentation? It's because I had something greater, something larger, and I do that, and I have that, thank God. And so I got a macro life address for myself. And that has made all the difference. We're talking about leadership. Leaders who have a specific purpose, they move forward more easily. And you need to share that with your team. It's not the most important thing is not scoring a goal, but winning the championship. A purpose. Why are we doing that? Where do we want to get to? Well, I'm going to give you a present, a book that I have written, a book that I wrote. This is the second book I wrote. Who said, I want one, I want one? Yes, who said it? You said it. I liked how bold you were. Just a minute, I'm going to take you the book. I want a book too. I want a book too. Please come here. Come closer. Please. Oh, okay. I'm gonna walk to closer to you. Okay. Hello. What's your name? Andrea. Are you from Uberaba? Yes. Have you ever gone to one of my concerts? No, because I don't remember you at my concerts. Of course. I have a golden memory. Excuse me. We are from the Força Feminina movement, a group of business women here from Uberaba. I'm a nurse and I also work with sales, and I'm flattered that I am beside you. Yes, and thankful that I was able to hear you. Yes, me too. And then you can go to the dressing room behind stage, and I'm going to give you an autograph. Let's take a photo later. Please pay attention to what I'm going to say. I heard 10. Give me one. Give me a book. Give me a book. I'm a good salesperson. I'm a good salesperson. Remember, I said that everything is a strategy. Everything we do is a strategy. I'm selling my book today. It's really, really cheap, but it's really, really good. And Leandro Carnal was the man who wrote my preface, and so he's my dear friend. And I'm gonna tell you something even better. The price is great, and I have 20 books in the boxes that we have. It's a gift card. It's almost like a gift card. I'm going to autograph these 20 books and take a photo. Pedro, please join me here on the stage. Where are the gift cards? Ladies and gentlemen, hello, good evening. We have 120 books here. I would like to sell 120 books. And 20 of these books, they have a bracelet that is going to allow you to have access to the dressing room backstage. So I would like to sell the 120 books tonight. A round of applause for Pedro, my dear friend Pedro. Yes? No, don't worry about that. It's really, really cheap. It's really, really cheap. You're gonna ask Pedro about the value, okay? The price, sorry. That's the least important. That's another sales
Pouco
strategy.
tempo depois dessa fase em que eu tive a oportunidade de conhecer essa
A,
irmã, essa pessoa
a little while
que
after
talvez
I
seja
met
muito
this
falada,
lady, we became successful.
eu aceito tudo, claro. Pix, beleza. Tudo porque às vezes eu
Yes,
falo pra pessoa assim, ó, eu
you
vou
can
pagar com
transfer
música.
the money to my bank account. I'm gonna pay you with songs. Is that okay?
Vamos lá.
Yes,
Ok,
we
beleza.
also accept bank
Aí quando eu
transfers.
vi que chegamos
So
ali
a
nos
short
primeiros
while
meses,
after that, we reached the desired
uau,
success. Victor and
15
Leo.
anos depois de boteco.
Victor and Leo. It was the
Nossa
peak of
Senhora.
our career,
E aqui o que que a gente
but
descobriu?
the having a purpose was
Muito difícil
essential.
liderar.
And we discovered that it's very, very hard to
É
lead.
muito difícil gerir pessoas.
It's very, very hard
É
to
muito
manage
complicado
people.
ser um líder de um
It's
time.
really
Mas
complicated
era
being a
fácil
leader of a
há 15 anos
large
atrás, na
team
época do boteco?
because in the
Falei,
past it was
você
okay.
que é empresário, você que
In
gera,
the past, we only
quanto
depended
mais
on our talents. So, as business
gestão,
people, the
difícil.
more you grow, the more complicated the management
Mais
is. You
qualidades
need more knowledge, you need more dedication, you need to have
as
more
pessoas que você tem que
skills.
administrar, que
And
influenciar.
then you're going to
É
have to
fácil
run
influenciar
and manage
pessoas.
more people and influence more people. Is it okay to influence 6 people? Yeah. What about 1,000
Para
people?
crescer,
That's
para
where
melhor.
things get tough. Growing is not easy.
Uma das primeiras
Growing is
coisas
not
que
easy. And then,
mudaram na minha
guys,
vida
one of the
foi
first things
exatamente
that
essa
changed in my
preocupação de
life
ter mais
was
prazer em fazer.
exactly this.
Novamente,
You didn't feel any pleasure
eu
doing
decidi
it
entrar
once
numa
again
rotina,
because I
uma rotina
started
cotidiana,
having a routine about everything,
de
routine for
novamente
everything.
viajar.
And then when I realized,
Era
so
tudo
one day I had to get a plane to travel, and I didn't want to get on that
era
plane.
eu e o irmão.
That was the least thing that was the last thing on my mind. But I had to travel to give a concert with my brother.
Ser menos
But isn't
produtivo.
that a paradox? Yes, so you achieved
Pessoas
your
acharam
peak
que
and that's what you wanted, but then you didn't want to
só
do it. And
depois
people
de um
don't
período
want what that is, what that feels like. But then after some time,
decidindo pausar a dupla,
we
vivemos
ended up decided
da
to
vida.
split up.
A gente decidiu pausar
We had many successful stories, but we decided to split up and we were
Léo,
not.
Léo,
I have a
você acha que a gente vai
question.
voltar?
Leo,
Nós nunca
do you
voltamos.
believe we're going to play together?
Então as pessoas falam, vocês separaram? A gente pausou.
So
Está
you split up as a band.
estamos
So we have
agindo como
paused.
irmãos,
We have hit the
novamente
pause
vivemos
button.
como
So
empresários antes de
we are living as brothers, okay, well, really well.
estamos
And when we were business partners, we were
vivemos
not in a good
sim,
place. We didn't have a good relationship.
maravilhosa.
We celebrated First Day together with our children. Everything is a-okay now. We are happy. Everybody is following their own paths. And it was a consensus
Esse
that we
sucesso,
reached.
eu descobri uma outra coisa.
After
Assim, na
we
época de
became
boteco, eu era o
successful,
primeiro
I
fofoca que
discovered
todo mundo
another
queria
thing.
entrar.
So when we were playing at bars, I wanted to take pictures with
É,
people, but nobody
mas o
wanted to take
sucesso
pictures with
não
us.
eram mais
After we
3
became
fotos,
successful,
4, 5 fotos, que às
it
vezes
was not
era
only 3 photos, 10
300 fotos.
photos, 5 photos, 300 photos a day, a
Você não tem
day.
noção.
You have no idea.
Anteontem a gente estava viajando, chegou uma senhora para mim no
The day
aeroporto.
before yesterday, we were traveling, and a lady came to me. Are you Victor from the Fairy Godmother? From Fairy Godmother?
Às vezes eu estou disfarçado de boné e óculos e tal, e passa uma pessoa,
Sometimes I'm wearing a cap and
e passo
sunglasses,
assim,
and I'm
oi?
undercover. I'm undercover. And then I walk by
Como
people.
que vai disfarçar desse tamanho?
How are you going
A
to
magnífica
disguise
Felipe,
yourself? You're
outro
too
dia chegou uma
too
senhorinha na
tall.
minha
You're
frente,
too
ela tá
tall.
galinha.
And then a lady
Ela me parou
came
no
to
meio do
me
aeroporto,
and she said, she stopped me in the middle of the airport and she said,
parei,
shh. I
assustado, assim, de
stopped.
óculos, né, de óculos
I
escuros.
was a little
Falei,
shocked.
quem
I
é
was
você?
wearing sunglasses
Quem é
and a
você?
cap.
Você é, meu filho?
Oh, I know you. I know you by
Não,
heart. You
gente,
can
é
take
sério,
off
é
your
o Léo,
cap.
Vitor e
You
Léo,
can
Léo.
take off your sunglasses.
Yes,
It's Leo
Léo, Vitor
from
and me.
Victor and Leo. Yes, it is him. It is him. Come here. Let's
Tinha
take a
50
photo.
pessoas na frente para tirar foto.
And then 5 minutes later, there were 50 people there asking me
Eu
to take
sei.
a photo. See? See? That's how things
Cinco já
go.
também, que é
That's
pra
how
ser
things
até
work.
três
And
nomes. Léo,
I started having three names, Leo or Leo,
que ninguém me chama
Victor.
de Victor. Ô, Vitor,
Nobody calls me
tira uma foto
Victor.
comigo aqui, Vitor.
They call me Victor,
Ah,
not Victor. Hey,
pode
Victor,
chamar o Léo também,
come
né?
here, take a photo with me. And the next time you're gonna take a photo with
Léo,
Leo, right?
Vitor e
Yes.
Léo.
And
Qual os outros
Victor
Léo
and
aí, ó?
Leo. Victor Leo.
Gente,
Victor and Leo.
banheiro
Victor
público,
and Leo.
pelo amor de Deus.
And
Você entra no
public
banheiro público,
restrooms. Oh
você entra no
my
banheiro público,
goodness. You
quando
go into a
você
public restroom,
fecha aquele.
go to
Não
the
tem
last
problema, não tem problema.
stall, and if the restroom
A
is full,
segurança
it's
fez
a
comentário aqui,
huge
viu?
problem. It's a
Não trouxe
huge
aquela
problem.
planta lá?
And then, did you
Cantou
see
lá,
the person who
aquele
went to
Leo,
the
Leo,
last
Leo,
stall?
aquele Leo, é
Victor,
o Victor
Leo,
Leo, não.
Victor, Leo,
Que veio
Leo.
com a mulher, não,
Is
é o
that
outro, não sei o que.
Victor or
Não,
Leo?
peraí. Calma. Peraí,
Is him
peraí.
the one who fights with the woman? No, no, it's not that. It's not him. It's the other one.
Brigou. Fake news.
That's fake news.
Gente,
It's always like this.
cara, outro dia eu entrei no banheiro, aí tinha um senhorzinho só.
The other day I went in the bathroom and there was this uh, old guy with glasses, and I rushed to go to the bathroom,
Nossa, né?
and I went
Esse
there and I sat
esse
down. Said he's not going to know me.
Aí com pouco eu vi
He's
ela
not recognizing me.
bateu na porta.
And I suddenly heard knocking on the
Aí eu
door
falei
and
assim:
say,
Ô
I
Vitor,
don't
bom?
believe it. And said, oh, are you good?
Eu vi dois pezinhos de baixo.
And I saw his feet and said, no, it's not possible. It is him.
Cadê o Léo? Tá aí?
Where is Leo? Is he with you?
Eu disse, não, a gente não faz essas coisas junto, não,
I
rapaz.
said, no, 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 we don't go to the bathroom
Eu só tô
together.
brincando, eu só quero tirar uma foto.
I said, no, no, I'm playing. I just want to take a picture. I said, okay, come here.
Aí,
And
casa, todo mundo adora as músicas de seis.
say, oh, everyone at my house loves you. And he was talking to me for half an hour. I was sitting on,
Tá afim da vida boa.
I
E
was
sentado
sitting
lá.
down doing my business on the bathroom, and he was next to the door asking me for
É
songs.
profissão hoje, né?
And this is fame, and fame nowadays is a profession.
Bom, gente, seguindo como solo, vou voltar no
Well,
tema aqui.
continue with this. Let's go back to the
Que eu quero dividir com
here.
vocês que é fundamental
I
em qualquer
found two
líder.
things that I want to you: versatility and to be vertical, to verticalize.
É você entender que
Is for you to be able to understand that the king and queen
são as principais peças porque
from chess, that are the main uh, parts because they move everywhere.
tem que investir
Leadership, you need to invest on it.
leitura,
You need to invest on this. You need to read. You need to
buscar,
learn. You need
experimentar.
to search. You need to experience. You need to live that.
Isso é fundamental. Só que
And that's
muitas vezes as pessoas
fundamental.
acham que o talento
But
é
many
suficiente.
times people think that talent is
Você
enough.
entender que verticalizar e
Understanding that to be versatile in this process is the same as saying
basta
it's telling you that it's not enough to be talent.
ter o dom que você quiser,
You can
utilize isso.
have anything you want, you can use that, but what you're going to do from that can make you successful or not.
Vou fazer outra analogia com educação.
I'm going to have a different analogy with education, life
Eu quero saber o que
project.
eu vou fazer na vida.
I'm going to understand what I'm going to do in my life. Maybe medicine, maybe it doesn't matter what you do
Como você faz?
or how you do it.
Conhecem cantores que fizeram sucesso.
You know people that were successful, you know people with a lot of talent that didn't continue. You know lawyers that were successful, you know the lawyers that go to a different department.
Diploma resolve?
Just the paper, just the diploma is not enough. Only being talent is not enough. So this is what I'm saying. It should be versatile. The leader, they need to do that because the best way to influence and to gather a team is to be coherent. You're going to impact it doing than saying because they are going to observe that you're speaking but you're not doing. So it's not possible to be 100% perfect, but you're able to search for it 100%. So this is what I'm saying. You need to put yourself in the learning place to search, to go after with your team. This makes you a leader. This will impact. This is meaningful. I talk with many entrepreneurs that have the same profile. On the contrary, if you are an incoherent leader, time will go against you. Time will not be on your side. More and more time goes on, less leadership and influence you have on people. If you're humble, if you need, understand that you need to search for your growing path. People, if you're versatile, I become an education entrepreneur. I was able to get to this department that I think that is the most important in this country. If there's something that changes this country, that is education. I don't want to go to the stage to talk about politics, and I won't do that. But seeing some things happening, I would really like to have heard. We are going to talk about what we are going to do about education. We don't see that. It's only, oh, I've done this and that. This is not going to change your life, my life. Hortense Institute is an NGO, and I'm working with a different organizations. Those who want to know, you can go to the website. And I had the privilege to work in a sector that teaches me more and more, transforms me. So this entire process that I went through and that I'm telling you here, my transformations, this is about this reinventing myself. And this is a different feature for each one of the leaders. Of course, I'm not talking about myself. I'm searching for this. But I'm sharing with you where I'm going to. And those who grow, they have this ability to reinvent themselves. They have this revolution that is amazing. The last book I wrote, I talked about this, where I have to go through to reinvent myself, where I accepted I was not enough to try to reinvent myself, and what process I went through to be able to get that. I want to share with you that if you are someone that is scared of change, you're resistant to change, and you're not flexible, and you think you got to the point that you know everything, you have everything, your only path is to go down. And those who don't reinvent themselves, they refuse to this change. The metaphor is that as you're going through this roller staircase and then you're going down. We are in the digital era, so speed is everything. I'm talking about this revolutionary idea and say, oh, I'm going to reinvent myself. Wonderful. And I said, this is connected to decision. Decisions now. So this revolutionary is something that you're going to use now, today, only now. Both things are connected. Decision, attitude, and reinvention. Knowing that you can find your best self today. Because if you go sit down in the chair and you go to the automatic way and you're going to be inert, you're going backwards. This is how it works. speed is everything. The digital era is there for this. A leader needs to have this characteristic. A big leader needs to have that because he needs to influence his team to do so. One of the important points for that is self-management, organizations, people that take notes, people that take notes about everything. Let me give you an example. You know, the reinventions that I done in my life, this was the main tool to wake up every day, get my cell phone, and map my day. I was telling this to my friends today. People that do that, they know the schedule for the day. What are the priorities? What I'm going, why I'm going there. If you're not like this, stand up, get your cell phone, and start creating the habit to take notes and do lists. Your priorities. Every day, think where you're going, why you want to go, what are your priorities to map this. This is everything. Talking about reinvention, I want to end up telling the best thing I have done in my life, the best reinvention. You see an orange here. There was a time that I started going through this inertia, and I was on automatic, and I went through this place that I said I felt that everything was great, everything was working well. It was during the first years of fame. You dream about it, you point somewhere, you get there, and then you stop, thinking that that's it, and you go backwards. What happened was exactly that. Power, success, money is great if you know how to deal with it. But I can guarantee that one is one of the most difficult things that exist. I love something that said, "What's freedom? It's going to slave. What it gives you freedom is going to slave you at the same time." Make those who are in the top of their career, they left their house and they travel for 5, 6 days. When they get home, their life is a mess. Their home, their marriage, their friendships, because they don't have time to talk with people. The financial, it's a mess because you don't have time to see the financial department, and you need to take pills to sleep. Or you need to take pills to wake up to give you energy. That's it. I want something, but I'm not sure what it is. And what happens? Have you watched Elvis movie? Some of you, if you didn't see, it's very interesting. Not only because of the music, but it's very interesting. And this didn't happen with Elvis; it happened with different artists. When he is like this, he's a character. He is a Jungi character. He's just a mask because wherever he goes, he is the powerful one. He is the best one. He's number one. You're amazing. You're great. You're this, and that. And your brain is addicted to power. Your brain is addicted to compliments. Your brain is addicted to status, to social position. Your brain is addicted to leadership. It's addicted. So, what happens? When you are a character, you don't deal with yourself because you know everything is a mess. And when you start dealing with it, you are running away from it. You're drinking, you're using drugs. Thank God I didn't do that, but many of my friends went there and they took their lives. So when you hear about this, this is what happens. Power, the character, the intensity, this being automatic, this breaks you. This breaks a human being. This breaks a citizen. this destroy it if you allow it to do so. I had the opportunity to listen, and my son told me that he didn't want to be the last one in line. I was in this time, this craziness. I was going this place, that place. My son would get me, call me, and say, "Oh, in a minute." Sometimes we would go there for a few minutes. I remember it was yesterday. I didn't have the time. And one day he got to me and say, I don't want to be the last one in line." And he was crying. And then it was life slapping me on the face. I'm not saying that you need to stop dedicating yourself. You need to stop uh, putting some effort on things that you need to stop delivering everything you want. Everything's part of it. But life is a connection, and a leader needs to have energy, needs to have leadership. Anyone needs to have this energy. Do you know energy is to recharge? You need to recharge. Do you know what's about recharging? The simple things in life, the essential things. Simple things as, for example, eating an orange. So when I dressed my kid, when I heard this from my kid, I went to a friend and he told me, "Let me know about your life." And I was describing Leo from the band. And he said, "No, everyone knows this one. I don't want to hear about him. I want to know about the ones that is behind it. I want to know about the kid, the teenager that dreamed about that." I said, "He's not here anymore." And he told me, "If you don't figure out and don't bring it back, you won't be able to find yourself. This is your choice." After that, I was something else. I was someone else. It was the best thing I did in my life. He asked me to go back to my kid, my teenager, and I remember that I would go to the backyard to eat some sugar cane. I remember that I would play soccer barefoot, and then I would go to my neighbor's house to ask for some food. And I had my neighbor say, "Oh, you give me some bread or something. Oh, do you have some cake? Do you understand what's that? That's freedom. It's simplicity. I was free." And I remember that my grandfather, he would get a bag of oranges, and this was something that I had in my memory that was very strong because I loved that. He would get an orange bag and he would eat slowly, and he would get this. He would separate the parts. He would get the cones, and we would be there in the backyard eating those oranges. He would always do that. That felt like life. It was as simple as that. It was so simple to live, just being careful. And when I got this memory from the oranges, I started crying. And I decided to be someone else. I went back to my house and said, "I will break the chains." I went back to the club. I started taking my kid to school, getting him from school, started going to restaurants. I took the mask off. I went down the stage, literally, because usually we go down the stairs. I went down the stairs, but I was not coming down the stage. Anyone needs to do that. It's important. That brought me back to life. That was my fuel, my game changer. That's why I want to share with you this this experience. If you want, you can close your eyes and get your oranges back. Each of you has a different one. Important people, important period, important time, those places that are you cannot replace. If you're not doing this today, maybe it won't work tomorrow. I will help you with this song.
Nunca vi ninguém viver tão feliz como eu no sertão. Perto de uma mata e de um ribeirão, Deus e eu no sertão. Casa simplesinha, rede pra dormir, de noite um show no céu, deito pra assistir. Deus e eu no sertão. Das horas não sei, mas vejo clarão. Lá vou eu, cuidar do chão. Trabalho cantando, a terra é a inspiração. Cante comigo. Deus e eu no sertão. Não há solidão em festa lá na vila. Depois da missa vou ver minha menina de volta pra casa. Queima lenha no fogão e junto ao som da mata tô eu e um violão. Deus e eu, sertão. Deus e eu no sertão. Obrigado a vocês que estiveram aqui no 5º encontro ABCZ Mulher.
Thank you so much for all of you who came here to the 5th ABCZ Woman. Banco do Brasil is also a partner of this night, okay? And I'm also very proud to be a partner of the Bank of Brazil, mainly in agribusiness. I believe there is a trophy for me here. Is that it? Am I right? Let me see. Oh, what is it? Somebody... Yes, there is a trophy for you, and I would like to invite Miss Rosalia to hand the trophy to you. Yes, that's it. That's what I thought it was. So we have to invite Rosalia. Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you so much for this opportunity. You were here in May, right? And this is your home. Thank you, thank you. Always invite me, please. It's a great honor.
Olha aí, pessoal, que
Welcome,
legal.
welcome.
Vamos tirar uma foto comigo?
Welcome to the ABCZ. Hey guys, isn't this cool? Let's take a picture.
Obrigado, obrigado.
Thank you very much.
Tem mais um detalhe importante
Thank
que
you.
eu queria deixar com vocês aqui.
And I have just one more thing, one important thing. I would like to give you guys a memento. It's a small gift. It's not a trophy.
Tem uma laranja para cada um de vocês aqui.
There is an orange for each and every one of you here.
Acho que vocês entenderam a mensagem. A laranja é simbólica.
I believe that you have understood the message, right? And this orange is just a symbol. But if you want to peel this orange slowly to create a cone with the orange peel, yes, do it, share it with other people. Okay, later on, please come here and get an orange. I'm almost wrapping up. I'm almost leaving, but I would like to give the opportunity to T people to ask questions.
Olha que interessante.
This was very interesting.
Mas eu queria
How interesting.
para duas pessoas sem
I wanted to give the opportunity to two people to ask questions. 100 people raised their hands, and then 98 people lowered their hands. Interesting. Two people, please. Can somebody take the microphone to the people? We have to be brief, okay? Because my time is way up. Hello, once again. Thank you so much. Leo. Until when do you think or do you believe that you have reached your limit and that you're not going to be able to impact more people? How long would you like to continue doing this? Until you are old, or who changes someone's life, even if it's one life. And if people did their work with love, it would be a privilege and the world would be a way better place. The world would be way better. I'm going to answer your question, Andrea. Excellent question. I have a sentence that I always take with me. If you have achieved a dream, has a date, an expiration date. So people are always trying to achieve happiness. Happiness for me is associated to things that are new. My achievements are always related to what I'm going to achieve. If you stop searching for things, if you stop trying to achieve things in life, I believe that your expiration date has arrived. So I'm only going to stop when God takes me with him. That's what I believe. One more question, please. I believe the lady is wearing a pink and black blouse. Oh, it's a good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. I would like you to talk a little bit about the people that change professions, people that have a degree in something and now they are working with another thing. Please talk a little bit about people who decide to change their careers. That's interesting. Why are people so afraid of everything that is new? Because they're afraid to fail, right? So we talked about making decisions and attitudes, having an attitude, or uh, uh, sincerely. Would you make all of the mistakes that you have already made? Yes, I would. We shouldn't be afraid of making mistakes. We should be afraid of not moving forward. So I have just answered your question. If this path here, and some people sometimes are at the crossroads of life, maybe in their profession. So when you are at a crossroads, you have many possibilities. Take this path, because this is the right one. And the other person is going to say, no, 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 this path is the right one. Take this one. Is there one right way? In my life, I discovered that no, there is a path that you should build for yourself, either on your right or on your left or ahead. So it depends on how I'm going to deal with things. So I have a paved road and an unpaved road. If I take the unpaved road, it's going to be harder because the paved road is easier. If you don't drive well, you can overturn your car. So on the paved, on unpaved, so what makes a difference is how you drive, either on the paved road or on the unpaved road. Okay? You have to create your own path.
Então é isso, eu acho que tivemos. Oi, meu amor.
So that's it.
Sim.
Yes.
Vamos levar o microfone para ela poder compartilhar? Eu vou responder essa última pergunta que eu preciso ir.
I'm going to answer the last question because unfortunately I have to leave. I have always thought, and what is more essential for a person, education or respect? Excellent question. What's your name?
Pode aplaudir a Maria Rita pela
Maria
pergunta.
Rita. A round of applause for Maria Rita, please, for her question.
Que as duas coisas caminham juntas.
I believe that the two things walk side by side. Well, at least that's my understanding. A person that doesn't respect the other or their neighbors is not a polite person. I believe that they walk side by side. And so it's a privilege that I have, that I am curious about education. I like to study, I like to learn. Education is transforming things, and respect is essential. It's essential. But I truly believe that one of the main qualities that people have to have and should have is respect, because we are living in a world that judges all the time, that points their fingers all the time. So you take a position and people don't understand what is you. I have my own story, I have my own beliefs, my own life, and so if you are on this side, everything is polarized. People on this side are in favor of what you say, or people over there against you. In the middle, we have respect, but only a few people are in the middle respecting. So I believe that the two things side by side. That's a great question, a great question. Education and respect are wonderful. Okay, guys, I'm going to say goodbye.
Mais uma homenagem? Jura? Eu vou fazer homenagem para quem?
One more thing. Flavia Matos, the manager of 0015. Flavia Matos, the manager of 0015. Hi, Flavia. Are you okay? Let me take the microphone to your seat. Since this event was created for women, I could not leave without paying homage to Flavia, because she's the first general manager here in Uberaba, and she leads an office that we have, and she is a great leader. She has a beautiful heart. She's a beautiful human being. And I also lead agribusiness here, and she takes care of the small that plant lettuce, and also those who make millions and millions of reais, the large farmers. She treats both of them the same way and paying homage to her. That's what being a woman is all about. That is how you teach us. You inspire us. Congratulations. Thank you. That's very nice. I'm not going to leave without giving my regards to Flavia, giving her a hug, because she's truly, truly moved what her friend said. She must have a beautiful story to tell us. Please. Come here, please, Flávia. Let me greet Flávia. Hello. Let me give you a hug.
E aí, qual que é a sua emoção?
Congratulations.
Conta pra gente aí. Que você se emocionou?
So, why are you so moved? I felt a little emotional because I am a leader. I lead a team of 25 employees, but our partners, I believe there are over 50. And I have been working with Agro Beraba for 5 years, and I have learned how to deal with the small farmers, with the super mega farmers, and I love agribusiness. And I believe the thing that I love the most is working with people. And I always feel emotional when I discuss this. Aline is one of our partners, and she's always congratulating me. But I learned with her a lot. I learned with my team a lot. Okay, congratulations, Flavia. A round of applause.
Faço questão.
I want to receive you in the dressing room. I'm going to give you a book. It's an honor. And I want to tell you about my team. Thanks God, I have a great team. I always talk about them here at the Guitar Beto Rosa.
Agradeço a Deus todos os dias o time que eu
Thank God every day for my team, my technical team, operational team, marketing, management, my commercial team. We are always together. And for you, thank you. Thank you for the attention, for the opportunity, for the sharing that we had here. And it was an honor to be here with you today. So I hope to see you once again. See you soon. Thank God.
Não esqueçam da laranja, hein?
Don't forget your oranges.
Em nome da presidente da ABCZ
In
Mulher,
the name of
senhora
the
Rosália
woman
Comado
president,
Machado,
Ms.
agradecemos a
Rosario
presença
Comandante
de
Machado,
todos
we
e
thank
declaramos
you all
encerrada
for
esta
your
solenidade.
presence. And now it's the end of this solemnity. Please have a great night.